right, we got Ivan Lawlin. Thank you so much, man, for coming in and making the trip. There's a lot to you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, Tommy. I appreciate being here. I'm excited about being on your show. I've watched it. I follow you. You have a great show. You've had my predecessor, Greg Cady, on here, so I'm excited to be here, man. This is a blessing to be able to come down here and be with you.
All fun, man.
Yeah.
So now, did you grow up in California?
Yeah, I'm native. I'm a native of California, born and raised right there on 101st and Main. Gompers, went to Gompers. I'm really a 7th grade dropout. I kind of was a terrible kid. And I learned my lesson. I did some time in juvenile hall, and that's where I learned how to play my first, how to play the piano, and that's what started me on my musical journey.
Is that how you fell in love with music? You played that piano and it got to you? Like, what got you into music?
My uncle.
Your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle was a blues musician.
Well, they're the best.
James Richardson. He was one of the best, and he had all of the instruments. And so when I went over to his house, after I found him when we hooked up when I was in junior high school, and I went to his house and befriended his stepchildren, I was able to play the bass for the first time. And so I was still a bad kid, but I got my first bass later on in life. And but I had to go and do a little time, and that's where I picked up the piano, and that's what made it all cohesive.
So okay, it runs in the family.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then you were working as a mechanic to save up for a bass guitar, right?
Yes, my father owned a auto shop in Burbank. His legendary shop is still there, as a matter of fact. The shop is still there with the same name. Somebody bought it from him. And so I grew up fixing cars for a living. And so when I dropped out of school, my dad noticed I wasn't going to school. So he said, look, son, either you got to go to school or you got to come and go to work. And so I went to work. And so at 16, I started fixing cars, and that's how I got my started buying all my equipment and all of that stuff and producing my first record. My first record is available on Discogs. You can see it on Discogs. You can hear it on Spotify, iTunes, and all of that. But Ivan Law, Anti-Drug Rap on Discogs is my first record.
Wow. Why was it the bass guitar that you were saving up for? What was it about that you worked so hard as a mechanic that you wanted that bass guitar?
The low end, it's the funk. It's the it's the funk. It's the drive. It's the Bootsy Collins. It's the James Brown.
The James Brown boy.
Yeah. It's the bottom end. It's the drive of every song. James Brown said the funk is in the bass and the bass is in the bag. And once that bass hits you, once you get that groove, it got you. So it was all about just being able to make that groove happen.
And now, during this time, you're about to deal with the peak of the crack epidemic, right?
Yes.
Now, take me through that. How bad was it? Did it just hit? Did you see it coming?
It was a slow thing, then it took off and became major. I had friends that became major drug dealers, like Jesse Harrod. He's serving 25 to life, will never get out, but he became one of the major drug dealers. I had friends who lost their lives, but it started slow, and then it developed into something that was tremendously detrimental to the community.
Because you always hear about it in New York, but you never really hear about the crack epidemic overall in California.
Oh, in California, it was terrible. It was, I remember I dated my girlfriend. We went over there. I was going over to her house, taking her home one night, and her cousin was running out of the house with the microwave. So,
with the microwave.
I mean, it was terrible. You couldn't trust anybody. Once they got on that stuff, they would do anything to get the drug. They would steal from you, rob you. Women would sell their bodies. They called them strawberries. It was a terrible time for the community. It was a big switch. That's when a big switch came during the 80s. The crack epidemic came, and then the influx of the Asian business in the community also came at the same time.
And do you think that still today has led to a lot of the homelessness that we see in Cali with all the tents, and they're kind of just segregating them right now, not really doing anything? Because if you go to a shelter, say you have a dog, that's all you have, right? You're homeless. You have a dog in your tent.
Right.
But if you go to the shelter, you can't take your dog.
No, you can't take your dog. So you have to separate from your best friend.
The only thing you got.
Yeah.
Right?
So as people don't do that. So the homeless problem in Los Angeles is deep. We got tents everywhere, sidewalks, on the side of the freeways. One guy just recently built a house on Hollywood Boulevard, I believe it was.
Didn't he build it on wheels?
Yeah,
or something?
He built it on wheels or something. He got a structure.
Yes, see you can find that. There's this guy in California. Ivan could explain it better, but he actually he built a house on wheels, right?
Yeah, he built a house on a structure. He said he got tired because every time the city come by, they make you move everything. You have to take it down and move it. So he said, okay, instead of breaking down the tent, I'll just do it myself. And he built a wooden structure.
And he went to the hills.
Yeah, oh, man, he lived in plush.
They were all on the phone when I was coming by.
Now, that's a penthouse.
Yeah, that's a penthouse.
If you homeless, that's a penthouse.
And you make it up to the hills. Woo.
Yeah, that's so in Hollywood, he got the first homeless penthouse. And I seen the structure on the news. It's channel 11 was the
right there, Ivan.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Look at him.
Hey, it ain't bad for a homeless guy.
No, not bad. The guy he's got a roof over his head. He's out of the elements. He's doing the best he can. And I've been homeless, so it's rough to overcome that.
See, I look at it like I would have that and start selling snow cones out the window or something.
You can sell hot dogs,
anything.
Hot dogs, popcorn. I would sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
I would start selling T-shirts, socks, and underwear. I would put shelves in the whole thing. And then I'd start selling T-shirts, socks, underwear. I'd go downtown and get me some headphones, some radios.
That's cool.
And I'd get my hustle on. So when they drove by there, that would just be my business. And I probably would be there for about 6 months living out of that. And then I probably would be able to move to Calabasas.
Get an apartment or something, right?
Yeah. Because you could turn that into a business.
Go to tab 2 while you have it up. Ivan has a great post here. So Takeoff, what happened with him?
I don't know. This is heartbreaking to me as a preacher. When I created what is the West Coast Sound and coined the phrase 24/7.
Ivan, and for people that don't know, what is the West Coast Sound?
That's what Ice Cube didn't take credit for, coming out of the West, the music that came out of the West in the 90s, Death Row, the Dre Day music. Eazy tampered with it, which I believe Eazy E was a beat maker. The West Coast Sound is what came out of the music that came out of the West.
It came out of the West when we were having the whole because you could obviously tell a difference.
Yeah. When the West Coast Sound, the boom bap. But I was 28 years old when I did that. So this Takeoff is the future of hip hop, and when we lose these young men like this, we're losing the future.
Now, do you know if that was like an argument or was it a rival?
I don't know. I hear he was at a dice game, and dice game going bad, and everybody is just easy. It's easy. These guys don't realize, Tommy, that it's easy to take a life. It's easy to pick up a gun and take a life. The hardest thing to do is to get away with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of these guys, they don't realize it. Maybe some of these OGs have led them the wrong way, but they're not headed to a life of old age where they're going to live a lucrative life. They're going to be just like the I-5 killer. They're going to be old men thinking they got away with it, and they're going to say, hey, I need you. Because it's something you can't get away, you can't get blood off of you, no matter what. And there's always some type of trail or evidence that can link you, and you don't want to put murder on your resume.
No. This episode is brought to you by Fiji. More than just water.
This is not just rock. It's ancient volcanic rock that filters tropical rain, giving it double the electrolytes and its signature soft, smooth taste. It's not just water. It's Fiji water.
This episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked. Are you the man your father was? Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels have dropped substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Think about how old your father was when he was born. For example, if he was 30, your testosterone levels could be 30% lower than his. Low testosterone levels can have all type of health effects on men. It can affect your mood, sex drive, memory, muscle mass loss, you name it. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but it can affect men at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in a discreet packaging with next-day delivery. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. So, if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/MSCS Media and get 25% off your test using the code MSCS Media. The link is in the description at the top. Because you know that one detective is going to walk in and open up that cold case file. He's going to be one of those type of detectives where he doesn't want the new stuff. He wants to close the old ones.
Yeah.
And he's going to find you.
He's going to find it. There's going to be that one gumshoe detective. That's what they call them, gumshoe detective. That once they get they foot stuck on that, then they're going to be stuck. So, but these type of homicides, they're quite frequent, and it's heartbreaking.
Now, do you see this a lot in California still? Because we don't hear about it like we used to. Before, somebody was getting killed left and right. Before him, the last one I remember, which I thought was such a talent, Tekashi. Am I saying that right, Rob? Tekashi X. He went to the gas station, the car wash, and they popped him. I mean, that was down here. But, he had a lot of talent.
We've had, in Los Angeles, we've had PNB Rock. We've had Slim 400. We've had Drakeo the Ruler. We've had the list is so long that I can't even name all of the artists, and it's just heartbreaking to me as a preacher.
Sure.
My heart goes out to the parents. You're so proud of your son. They're using their God-given talent to entertain the world, and their ability to entertain and attract fans becomes a death sentence. That's so sad.
And they made it out. They made it out of the hood. They worked. You know what I mean?
Well, we're supposed to be.
Yeah,
you're
that's
making
what it's
it
supposed
out.
to be.
You're
right.
supposed to be. You're making it out, but it looks like there is no way out.
What do you think the problem is? Do you think they're being too flashy? They're making the money, but then still hang out with the wrong crowd?
I don't think. I hate to blame Takeoff or Drakeo for being murdered. I think the problem. I'm just gonna say I think the problem that people are trying to do God's business. things that God should decide, people or man is deciding. Things that a jury should decide, one man is deciding. And I just think that we too many people are trying to do God's business. And I don't know what the problem is, because you should be able to go wherever you want to go.
You would think, right?
You should be able to wear whatever you want to wear. Just because I don't like what you said doesn't give me the right to pull out a gun and kill you. Because I should be, by law, we don't live in that type of age where we're primitive. We are not that primitive. We are more sophisticated, and we live in a cultured age where murder is wrong, and we don't have a right to determine who lives and who dies.
I think maybe once they get that record deal and the money, they just don't know how to handle it. And every time I see it, I see that they're hanging around the wrong people.
Well,
It's up in the air. There's so many different scenarios that it could possibly be.
Yeah, it's just so much stuff.
All you can say is it's sad.
It's sad. That's all we could say. Because without it's anything I say is speculation. Because I'm not a investigator to investigate all that stuff. So with all of those murders, it's sad, and I wish that Busta Rhymes said today that we need to do better. And so it's sad. That's all I could say. I don't know the cause of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what. All I know is that it's sad, and I wish that they could see that they're killing the future. The music business. A young man told me the other day that he was gonna. He said, "Man, I think I'm gonna make me a video and try to make me some money in the rap game." I say, with the way rappers are being murdered, you'd be better off to swim with sharks. But, for real, you'd be better off to do something else with your talent, because it happens too often. And whatever the problem is, it's not worth
your life.
Whatever 3 years of fame, whatever the problem is, it's not worth your life. And if they're saying the field is too crowded, we don't want anybody else, I don't know what's going on.
Find something else to do.
Find something else to do, and I think I don't want to be a rapper.
Me neither.
I don't want a contract.
Hey, is George Floyd really suing Kanye? Did you see that?
His family, they said they were suing him for $250 million.
For what? Because he said something?
Because he said that George Floyd died of fentanyl. So
you're going to sue him for $250 million because he said he died of fentanyl?
It probably won't go no.
I know, but it's just so stupid.
The judge probably will kick out the case. So, but Kanye's all over the news now.
Mm-hmm. I know, but that's just insane. But I guess if you see an opening, everything's money, money, money.
Well, the media picks fights.
Yeah. I think Kanye's smart as hell. I just think he doesn't know. I think he has trouble putting things into words. I think his mind's going a million miles an hour. Because if you look at him and you look at Elon, they both answer very similar, but Elon's able to, transcribe it out of his mouth much better than Kanye. Whereas Kanye, I think, is just gone, and he's worried about his kids. He don't want to say the wrong thing, and they're watching every word he says. Where right. Elon, they're watching him, but they're not watching him like Kanye. They're just waiting to pounce on him.
Yeah, Kanye is, you have to be careful when you are a successful African American and you're up on a pedestal. You have to be careful, because there's always somebody looking to knock you off and hoping to knock you off. You might be in a place anyway where they really don't want you. And so as soon as you give them an opportunity, hey, there it is right there. And so they start chopping away.
Plus, he did get the Kardashian curse.
Yeah.
You see, me and him always
That's true.
joke
That is
how Pete, what's his last name? Davidson.
Yeah.
The girls he gets, my goodness. But
he got away scotch-free from them.
yeah, well, he went nuts last week. He threw a coffee thing. He had a meltdown in his. He's filming something for Comedy Central, or he's doing a film, like a series thing, and they said he had a meltdown and he went nuts.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
There's
man.
something true to that.
Yeah. What's her name? The mom.
Oh,
What's the mom's name? Ivan.
The Kardashians' mom?
Yeah, I'm scared of her. Chris.
Yes.
Chris, yeah, I'm scared of that woman.
Yes. The Kardashians are very
they're like the plague, man.
they're a powerful family.
You name one guy that got out of that scot-free. Scott Disick, he's lost his mind. Lamar lost his mind.
Gone.
Kanye. All of them.
Well, I knew Kanye was going to lose
Thompson.
his mind.
Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
Remember how good? I mean, he was good.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you don't even hear about him.
Yeah. He lost his. I think it was at a basketball game.
Ben Simmons was with the Kylie Jenner.
Oh yeah.
You
don't hear about him.
He's terrible.
They sucked the life right out.
Literally.
Of you. Yeah.
It's the curse.
Well, they sucked the life right out of you, I guess, And but Kanye is kind of, he might be in a battle with God.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you see, whatever you do, you have to allow for God. We have to still, we might try to get away from him, but we have to allow for the higher power. And Kanye rewrote the Bible. See, he rewrote the Bible.
I can believe that.
Took out every mention of God, took that out and put his name there. In the beginning, it will say, instead of saying in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, it will say in the beginning, Kanye created the heaven and the earth. So you put yourself in a battle with God.
That's not good.
No, because he's really in control of your life and your blessings.
I don't know why I did that one. I can understand some of the genius things that he has done that just don't always make total sense, but that one, I don't know Kanye, buddy. That one's
he may be an alien.
Maybe he's an alien.
He might be an alien.
I don't know, but that one right there, I just, I would, if I was Ye, I would kind of say, well, God, I apologize for this one. Forgive me of that. I might, because I don't think, even though Jesus he makes us equal, I don't think we should ever eliminate God and put our names in the place where his belongs.
Rob, can you believe he did that?
So, and I'm a fan. I told Mark Mikowski at the Grammys years ago, I said that, since, I'm the real beat maker, I said Kanye is really the best at doing what I originated. So I always thought that he was the best at it. A lot of those guys I really, admire their work because as an artist and a hip hop pioneer, I followed some of these guys and I admire, the work.
Now, going back to the ministry, when you're in that crack epidemic, you got to be seeing your friends selling it and making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Right? How do you have the discipline to, you were just working as a mechanic, busting your balls to go get to the guitar and everything else that you needed. Your friends are making tons of money selling the crack. How did you have the discipline to go into the church, to be a minister, and not just the minister, the greatest one at the place you were at?
It's my life has seemed like it's always been filled with pain. And I remember with my brother-in-law, Algie, rest in peace, he was called himself selling crack, so I'm going to start there. And so he was going around giving it away free. So I had a Vega at the time. He gave me a piece of crack. He said, here. And I sat in the car and I prayed. I said, Lord, if you see any good in me, please don't let me go this way. Because I saw that it would turn people into a junkie. And so I prayed. And he came back about an hour later. He said, what you do with that? I said, it's up there. He said, man, give me my crack back. Because I left it sitting up there. And so it was prayer. And one day I was riding in my car and I said, okay, Lord, I'll preach. And I started preaching and I went on from there, and many said that I was anointed. And so
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not many people could do that.
No, it wasn't easy.
I'm sure it wasn't.
It wasn't easy, and I still had some pitfalls. I didn't make it out of it clean. You know, I thought I was slick. You know? I came, but God took care of me. And
then how do you go from you're a minister, you're killing it, you're at the top, and then you get a meeting with the record label? I never even heard of what, Macola?
Yeah, Macola Records.
Now, who is that under, or who is that at that time?
Macola Records at that time, there's look at all these rumors around me every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they was the main distributor for that. And so when I started doing my music,
That's Chris Brown. Chris
No,
Brown he did a song with Tiger. Well, they remixed it.
Yeah, I think that's Rumors. I think that's Club Nouveau. I think it is.
Yeah, they just remixed it later on.
Yeah, they remixed it.
Yeah.
And so, so I looked on the back of the album and to see who was distributing the song, and I saw it was them. And so I sent Monkey See, Monkey Do over there.
Oh, shit.
And so that's how I got hooked up with found Macola Records. And Macola Records were a record pressing plant on Santa Monica Boulevard. It wasn't really a record label. They were a record pressing plant.
So they just had the machines that press the material, the record.
Correct. Yeah. They were a distribution.
Yeah.
They were a distribution hub. They were what Empire is now, distributing all of these artists, yada. They were the main distributor in the 80s.
Now, how does that meeting go? When you walk in and you sit down, take me through that A to Z.
Okay. I sent my demo there. It was there for a while before they called me. So eventually they call. Ivan, can you be here Wednesday, 11 o'clock? Yes.
This one, right?
Yeah, that's the 1986 demo. RoboCop dropped the beat and Be My Baby. And so they call me. I said, yes, I could be there. So I go to the meeting. I get there, and Dre is there. And I asked him what's going on. He says, I don't know. I'm here to meet somebody.
Dr. Dre, right?
Yeah. So he's not very inviting. He's not warm. There is no, hey, man, you about to make it, homie. You know, hey, just chill. You about to blow up. They got me here to help you with your music. I don't know. I'm here to meet somebody. Listen to that word now.
I hear you.
Body.
Didn't even know your name.
He didn't know my name. I'm here to meet
body.
Body. A body is
B-O-D-Y, yeah.
What they have in the morgue.
Yeah.
So this is late 80s, before the killing really became what it is. So I think that.
As you're speaking like that, we have to remember that this is the late 80s where it's very violent. So when you hear body, right?
Yeah.
It's not like in 2022 when you hear somebody.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah. When you hear the word. When somebody tell you I'm here to meet somebody,
back then, that could be a dangerous situation.
You got to be careful, because if they say I'm here to meet someone, that's one thing. But if they say I'm here to meet somebody, the man calling you a body. And so I sat there for about 15 minutes and I left. Macola, they followed me. But they didn't say anything to me. They paid a friend of mine to leave me sitting in the car all day. So I sat in the car and
Because you think this is it, right? You
Went to
think
sleep.
you think this is the day.
Well, yeah, no, I left the record company. I left.
But I mean, when you went into that meeting, you thought, man, something's gonna happen here.
Yeah, I thought that was it, but it didn't. There was the person who they had for me to meet was not inviting, and my spirit didn't connect with his, so I left. I didn't feel comfortable. What are they doing? You got me sitting next to this guy. All of y'all back there in some kind of meeting, but this guy is not inviting. So you got the wrong person. So now if they'd have had like somebody like Bootsy or Roger Troutman or somebody in there, who would have been inviting and say, hey, don't worry about a youngster, you finna blow up. Would have been a different day.
You ever meet Roger Troutman?
No.
Oh, that
Great
would have been
fan
cool.
of his.
You know who that is, Rob?
Mm-mm.
He's the one on like the All Eyes on Me album. He used to put the thing in his mouth, right? He used to put this plastic. Yeah, I mean, can you explain it?
Bounce to the ounce. He's the first before T-Pain. There's
Yeah.
Roger Troutman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he would put. What would he do? Put that
vocarder.
plastic down almost in his throat.
Yeah, it's what they call a vocarder, and it plays with the keyboard, and you blow.
Oh,
through
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that was him. That was him.
Yeah, that was Roger Troutman, one of the great ones.
Yeah.
One of the great musicians of that day.
So then you leave, right?
Yeah, I leave, and I leave that demo. That
Oh, you
demo
leave it with them.
Yeah, I leave it with them, and Dr. Dre, now he's heard that. See, he's heard that. And so I go on and I go through my changes in life. I forget about this because I don't know what this is. I don't know what I have because you can invent something and you don't know the value of your invention until somebody else tells you. So I didn't even know what I had when I started beat making. It's just that I wasn't a DJ, and the order of the day when I made this was we had MCs and we had DJs, and they would go in and spin the records, and the rappers would rap on top of the records. So I couldn't do that, but I was a bass player. And so I bought the drum machine, I bought the Roland synthesizer, I bought me some 4-track recorder, and I put this demo together. And this is the most important piece of music in the history of hip hop.
You want us to play the preview?
Yeah, whatever you
Hit,
play.
yeah, hit the
Yeah.
preview. And then after that, you end up in a situation, huh?
This is the West Coast style.
Yeah. Go to drop the beat. Yeah, no, that's the West Coast right there.
Yeah.
Remember that, Rob? We used to be like this as little kids. You know what I mean? little Dago over there. You can tell I was recorded a long time ago.
Yeah, that's the one where I coined the phrase 24/7. Drop the beat. You won't. That's my cousin.
Cousin's good too.
Yeah.
That's that West Coast.
Yeah, this is it.
That's funny because
Yeah, you can hear it definitely.
that RoboCop
Definitely.
and the Drop the Beat, you can tell that was recorded long. I don't even think if you wanted to, you could record it that bad now. You know what I mean? No, I mean not that it's bad. You know, it's just you don't have. Back then, there wasn't the technology we have now, and I don't think there's the technology now available to make it like that.
No,
We'd be on Final Cut
Yeah.
for a year.
that's 4-track. That's complete 4-track, and I didn't want to alter it or change it because I believed that this day would come, and that I would be talking about my song, and if I alter it, then it's no good.
Right, because people would be like, "Oh, you just made that."
You just made
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I have to leave it in the original form that it was submitted to the record company so that they could say, yes, that's it.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially on Drop the Beat, there's no question.
Yeah. And that's what I can remember, like with RoboCop, I was dating a young girl named Trish at the time, and we went to the movies to see the movie RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
And man, I came home. I said, I need a beat, and I threw on Michael Jackson. I said, okay, that's it. I remade the beat on the drum machine, got on the synth, and put the bass line and put the chords, and I wrote the lyrics. There's a brand new dance that just broke out. Not hard to do. Just work it out. Stiffen up your body and give it juice. Rock your body from side to side. Keep the pop and keep your stride. Do the RoboCop. Let's rock. And
That's what's up.
Did it work with the girl? Did it work out for you?
yeah.
All right, then.
Well, I ended up. That's Erica on
Excuse me.
On the track. So, but with Trish, yeah, we became really good friends. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Now you leave them and you end up in a motel, right?
Yeah. Well, I go through a whole period of hustling on Crenshaw.
Struggling. From what
Yeah.
I read, it sounded like a lot of struggling.
I got married. After this, I get married, and I
Congratulations.
start a business on Slauson and Crenshaw. And I start selling socks, T-shirts, and underwear, and I wind up with a nice store. That's how I met Nipsey and all of that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, they called you the Sock Man, right?
Yeah.
They did. They called him the Sock Man. It's
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah, I'm the original sock man. So, and I was on Jefferson and Crenshaw, and Nipsey, he was on Slauson. And so from there, and I had all types of businesses, had nice stores, sold motorcycles. I'm pretty well known in Los Angeles for business. And so I had that period, and then that was, after that, there was some things that happened, which I believe God was calling me to this day. And in order for him to get me to this day, he had to take everything out of my pocket, because I wasn't thinking about no music. I wasn't thinking about doing nothing. I was making good money. I didn't need nothing. I was living in Calabasas, which is one of the high-end areas where most of the entertainers live at. So I had me a $3,000 a month luxury apartment. Hey, I need
And
nothing.
in the 80s, that's what, maybe 10, 20
Oh,
now?
Now,
No, that's
Oh,
not the
my God.
80s. I gotta take you up. We in like 2000 now. I done really jumped up. In the 80s, I was just the mechanic and hustling outdoor swap meets. After the riots, that's when I became the sock man. After the Rodney King riot.
How bad was that? Because, we just see it from the outside. We don't see all of it.
Oh, it was terrible. The Rodney King riot was a very intense night. Everybody watched the trial, and when they was found not guilty, it was a disappointment to everybody. And the streets of Los Angeles were in flame. My brother-in-law, Tony, he was the first one to die.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was. They had a shootout with the police in the Nickerson Gardens, and he lost his life in the crossfire.
Oh.
And so bodies were laying in the streets. The buildings were in flame. Looters were running everywhere. And the most famous swap meet is the Slauson swap meet. The Asians were on top of that swap meet with AK-47s.
Really?
Yeah, they
Damn.
was up
Hey, they
there.
come heavy, huh?
You ain't coming in here.
Wow.
And then the word was in the street, don't go over to Slauson swap meet. The Asians on the roof with AK-47s.
And why do they call it a swap meet?
Because it's a gathering of vendors.
Okay.
Where you're supposed to be able to swap, whatever.
Trade. Yeah.
But it's a gathering of vendors, and you go in and discount prices. So they call it a swap meet, but it's a gathering of vendors. It's multiple vendors come up, mom and pop shops to make up a big fancy. Instead of a big fancy mall, they make a small swap meet with booths.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Until they start shooting each other, and there's AK-47s pointed at you.
Well, that's because they was
and 45s on this side.
That's because they was right. That's because they were looting, and they didn't want to. That was one of the swap meets that were saved during the riots. A lot of the businesses were looted and burned to the ground, but they managed to save that swap meet.
Oh, that's good at least, right?
Yeah, they managed to save that. It was some other structures saved. Where I started my business at, James Turner, he saved that place. It was the WLCAC food stamp office. He saved that from being burned down. So there was some heroes in that thing. Yeah.
And you had mentioned Nipsey Hussle, right?
Yeah.
What do you think happened with him? We've had a couple people in, and it seems very odd because he was very close with, I can never say his name. He's about to do a documentary on the, what's the guy's name with
the doctor?
The doctor who's really into soil. And you know
Phoebe,
what I'm talking about, right?
Doctor.
Yeah, Phoebe.
Doctor.
Something like that.
I can't think of his name. Doctor.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
So he was about to do a documentary on him because Phoebe, and sorry for saying your name wrong, even though it's a situation.
CB.
Dr. Sebi, yeah. Sebi.
Sebi.
Yeah, pronouncing it wrong.
And he was saying that the soil is so bad that if that soil gets any worse and the link in the soil, just look at it as links.
Mm-hmm.
If one link is over, that affects everything.
Right.
And Nipsey was about to go do a documentary on him. Now, I don't know if that, the conspiracy thing's all crazy. It's just odd that.
I don't
know. What do you think?
He was murdered.
You know this stuff.
He was shot by Eric.
Who's
right?
Eric? I don't know.
Eric Holden. He was shot by one of the local guys. Let me say this: that if you're going to be a rapper, don't try to exploit the neighborhood gang to make yourself famous. Don't try to use the hood as a stepping stone, because the hood is real, and gang banging and cripping, all that stuff, that's not entertainment, and you don't want to toy around with that because it's real. And there's a lot of guys who putting in a lot of work. They've done time for their hood. And so if you're going to be a rapper, don't try to exploit, the hood so you can be famous.
And you think that's where he made his mistake?
I was when I was locked down, because I was, they tried to, I had to do 2 years fighting the case. So one of the guys who was bought stuff from me as a kid, his father bought him. I was in jail with him, and he was from 60s, and he knew Nipsey well. And so he said that Nipsey was from his hood. But when I met Nipsey, he was just selling T-shirts. And he told me that he had $25,000 up at an attorney's for his rap career. So, and when I went into his shop, all he had was the Crenshaw T-shirts. And so I can't speak on his affiliation, but I will say, if you're going to be a rapper, don't try to exploit your neighborhood gang so that you can be famous and say, well, I'm from this hood, and because you could get yourself hurt, because those gangs are real, and you don't want to play and pretend like you're a gangbanger just to be famous,
So you struggle, you work your butt off, you get to Calabasas. Now, where do you come up with the name Monster Beats?
Monster Beats comes when
That's a good name.
Yeah, I like that.
When I'm trying to when I'm getting reestablished, I'm signing up with ASCAP, and they said pick 3 names. And so
What 3 names did you give them?
I think I had my old company, which was Star City Productions, my original company, which is Star City Productions. And then I said Monster Beats. I don't know what the other name was. And,
well, Monster Beats.
And they
can't be better than Monster Beats.
They sent back the thing and said, okay, well, we'll approve you for Monster Beats. And so Monster Beats is a certified ASCAP music publisher. I'm a certified ASCAP music publisher.
Now, this is the one I really want to ask you about. Is Dre the luckiest man alive or a killer? I think it's tab 3 or 4, Rob. Now, can you break that down for me?
Yeah.
I haven't really heard much about him.
Well,
like little bits and pieces.
Well, what happened with this was, you see, this is 2016.
Mm-hmm.
2014, my life is in shambles. My wife is gone. My kids are gone. I'm homeless. And I remember my demo, and I had the record deal. So I put in for a Grammy. And some people decide they're going to play God in my life, and they interfered with my Grammy, my Lifetime Achievement Award for the Grammys. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to take it in a murder investigation. And I started investigating the Tupac and Biggie case right after they turned me down on my Grammy. And this was my question. Is Dr. Dre the luckiest man alive or a killer? So, first off, he has my creativity. It's not his. Okay. So that's part of the luck. Now you're lucky you ran into me. You're lucky you met me, you know. And when I first came back to the industry, I called Dre. I called him. I said, hey man, I'm Ivan Law. I called this record label. Hey man, I'm Ivan Law. I met Dre McCullough Records. I'm the original beat maker. They gave me his number. They called him. I called Dre. He never returned my phone call. So I reached out to him because I admired his work. I reached out to him. And so after no response and I don't get nothing, you know, hey, I need credit for what I did. The Bible says give honor to whom honor is due. So if you did something great in this lifetime, you should get credit for that. And so I said, okay, my question is Dr. Dre the luckiest man alive or a killer? So I wrote this. Now, and so I start out with the fact that I walked out on the record deal. Okay, and then I'm talking to Complex because they're posting a lot of stuff about what happened, why is everybody dead, yada, yada. So I'm saying, look, something, Dr. Dre has something new. After I walk out on my record deal, Dr. Dre has something new, and all of a sudden he does not need anybody. Why? Because he's got my music. When he wants to leave Eazy, Eazy dies. Eazy dies.
But you know what somebody would say, you know, just playing devil's advocate, and they would say, Ivan, you're just mad. You're mad, and you're saying this because Dre didn't answer your call.
I wish I was just mad at Dre. Now, Suge admits to poisoning Eazy.
Really?
Yeah. He admits. Scroll down. Scroll up, brother. Scroll up. It's the other way. Yeah. Go ahead. Go on up.
That's what they say. Suge poisoned Eazy?
Yeah, he admits. Going up. Right here. Play that.
Right.
Why the bulletproof vest?
Oh, it's not. Oh no, that's just it's new style. You've been in the can for a while. That's what all the talk show hosts are wearing.
This is a new thing, right?
Yeah.
See, if somebody gonna do something about it,
Right.
technology is so high, right?
Right.
So if you shoot somebody, you go to jail forever. So the kids, you don't want to go to jail forever, right? So
Right.
they got this new thing out there. People sell them all the time. They got this stuff they get blood from somebody with AIDS.
Yeah.
And they shoot you with it.
Oh,
so
well, that
that's
seems
gonna happen.
bad.
That's
Yeah.
a slow death.
Yeah. Yeah.
An Eazy E thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no.
Is he crazy to say that on Jimmy Kimmel?
See,
He's out of his mind.
So he basically, only the killer would know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you have to, who would have thought? Now,
You got to take that into consideration because he's sitting there, he's saying
Yeah, making a joke of it, but knowing that.
And then we're talking about Suge Knight here. We're not talking, you know.
So, but now you got to understand that Suge Knight started out as Dr. Dre's bodyguard. Okay, so Dr. Dre, Suge Knight begins his career as a subordinate to Dre, correct? So now, Dre wants out of his contract. Eazy says Dre Day is what? An easy payday. I'm going to get paid on all Dr. Dre's future work. No deal. No, y'all let him out of his contract. Yeah. But I'm still going to get paid. Everybody don't know why, though. He's going to get paid because Dr. Dre has my sound. And that sound was acquired while Dr. Dre was with Ruthless Records.
So he could take that sound with him no matter what.
So, no, he can't take it with him.
Oh, he can't take it with him.
No, because Ruthless is really the steward of the sound of hip-hop or the West Coast sound, because it was Ruthless Records. Dre was in the contract with Ruthless. So when my demo was left on the table, that goes to Ruthless. That goes to Eazy, becomes the steward.
That's right. That's right, Ruthless, right.
So Eazy would be the steward. So now, but once he eliminates Eazy, now he doesn't have anybody to claim credit for this magnificent body of work. Eazy, which I believe the real motherfucking G's, I think that's an easy beat. I think that's a beat that Eazy actually made. Because he says, here's another fresh beat for your ass, Dre. And so they was in competition.
Back and forth.
They was in competition to make a beat. So anyway, now, so Eazy dies. Eazy, the fastest aged death on earth. I thought Eazy was poisoned because he died too fast. And then I found the Jimmy Kimmel clip, and it confirmed.
How quick did he die?
2 weeks, a week.
Wow. You just get AIDS and die in 2 weeks?
This is ridiculous.
I don't imagine I'm still rolling around.
That's ridiculous, because even Rock Hudson had a chance to fly around the world, which I say in here, and try to get treatment.
Right, because it starts as HIV and then turns to AIDS, and even when it does, you still got time.
You still got time.
You know, maybe it's hospice or whatever, right?
Yeah, you still got time, but he didn't have no time.
Powerful batch.
Boom.
Powerful batch.
It was an assassination.
He goes powerful batch.
Yeah, really powerful.
They got a high purity.
Yeah, it was strong.
Maybe a little too high purity on that one, buddy.
Yeah, it was strong. So like he said, you get somebody who's infected with AIDS, they're about to die, and you shoot them with that, and so now
I see.
So he goes solo. And now the real truth is, the biggest lie that's told about my brother, my friend, the biggest lie that's told about him is that he left Death Row. It's the big lie. He didn't leave.
Dre didn't leave Death Row?
No. He was fired.
Suge fired him.
Suge. Yeah, there's a clip that I have a clip of Tupac where he says, Tupac says, it wasn't my
it might be on the next one, Rob. Is it on here?
Nah, it might be on my YouTube channel. You got my YouTube.
Yep, I got it up for you. Yep.
So let me see. You got my YouTube up. Where is it?
I still can't believe Suge said that on Jimmy Kimmel.
Where is it? No, that's not it. Where is it?
That's right. Just tell me what he said.
So he says that Tupac says it wasn't my idea. He says Suge, that Dre was out, with his words, sucking dick and fucking bitches.
Yeah, I heard Pac say that plenty of times. Yeah.
And while I'm in the studio putting it down, whooping asses, making songs, and he's out BSing, and he's owning the company too. And he said, I got to go and tell everybody that he did this and did that, and he didn't do it. And he said, we don't need that here. See, Dr. Dre is not able to do the work. And he has my idea, but he doesn't have the mechanics to perform and produce independently of others.
Tupac killed him on Machiavelli.
Yeah.
Against all odds, and I think bomb first.
Well,
he went
let me-
in on Dre.
Dre made the mistake Dre made. Had Dre left Pac alive, because the Eminem demo was submitted when Tupac was alive. I believe that demo was submitted when Tupac was alive. Eminem is the Elvis of rap. Okay? So if Dre had left Tupac alone, left Biggie alone, went and did his thing with Eminem, he still would have killed him. He would have smoked him, because Eminem is the Elvis of rap. He would have Tupac and Biggie would have had the black fans. He would have came in with the Elvis of rap. He would have had all the Anglo-Saxon fans, and the blacks would have been saying the same thing like they was about Elvis. Yeah, that one. You hear that?
And you ain't lying either.
Yeah.
Really.
See,
Nobody came like Eminem.
No.
That first album, wow.
Eminem got cheated because he didn't get it. There was nobody there. Eminem is a battle rapper.
Yeah.
There was nobody there for him to battle.
And if there was, he'd smoke him.
Yeah. The people that he was prepared to go against was murdered. So there's nobody in his league. He's the Elvis of rap, man. That dude, man, he didn't have to do that. He could have just went with Eminem and would have still been the greatest.
Is Eminem still with Dre?
No, I think all those guys are independent now.
Independent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that streaming changed everything.
Yeah, Shady Records. He got shady records. So, but those guys, there was a lot of unnecessary things, because these guys are great. They're great. You're dealing with real talent. They're great.
Go to the Hollywood visual. This is good. All right, take me through this, Ivan. You really put something really nice together here.
Okay. This is my pitch, my visual pitch for the movie, Hollywood, the Tupac and Biggie homicides, documentary into my investigation that led to the solving of the cases. I have the book. The book is available. There's a version where you can read it on Amazon free on Kindle right now, but I want to rework it, and so you could pre-order the newer version I'm gonna have on Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, we have it up there. Next tab is his book, I believe. Yep, right there, right?
Yeah, you could pre-order it right there on Barnes and Noble for $19.
And when will that be out, Ivan?
I'm trying to get it to. I got to work with the ghostwriter and get it, worked out. But if you want to read what I have now, you just have to go to Amazon.
Amazon?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
cool,
available on Amazon now. So, and my claims are that Dr. Dre. Now, I focused on Dr. Dre because I knew he was fake. And so, now the origins of the West Coast sounds is what be a beat maker, trying to be the beat maker is what has led Dr. Dre to be the serial killer, the alleged, I'm going to say alleged on your show on this, the alleged serial killer that I believe that he is. And
okay, so let's do it like this. Okay, so we have the East Coast, West Coast fighting like crazy, right? Tupac's going after Biggie heavy. Biggie really, at least in the public, he's not really saying too much back.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy's scared to death. We already know that. He wired money over to the Crips in California. Do you agree with that?
Well, Ice Cube says that it had nothing to do with East Coast, West Coast.
Really?
Yeah. This go to my page. I know I got that video up there. I read my YouTube, the YouTube. Ice Cube, he says, no, go down, go back down. I think that's it.
Right here?
Yeah. Yeah, play that one.
I thought the sky was the limit for people. We're talking to Ice Cube.
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. This episode is sponsored by Aurora. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is? For years, this crime rate has been surging and affecting millions of Americans. I'm talking about identity theft, and there's a new victim every 14 seconds. Yet despite this, those who have had their identity stolen are often shocked when it happens. That's why I'm excited to partner with Aurora, who is sponsoring this video. Aurora is identity theft protection, fraud monitoring, a VPN, password management, and antivirus software all into one easy-to-use app. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. Protect you and your family from America's fastest growing crime. Try Aurora for free for 2 weeks and see if you or anyone in your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial today. Go to aurora.com/MSCS. The link is in the description below.
The murder is still unsolved. Who do you think killed him? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. From what I see, from what I understand, it seemed like some kind of hit. It don't seem like random violence. So, you got to ask about the people who wanted him dead, or the people who wanted to get other people blamed. The thing is, it's like, and it was a situation, when you feud in public, if somebody come knock you off, then everybody gonna think the other guy did it. So it's always room for opportunists to stick their nose in there to get the pot stirred. So you just never know.
We're talking to Ice Cube.
So what he's saying is, everybody thinks it's Orlando Anderson. So everybody's heads turned to Orlando Anderson. And that's the time when somebody else could sneak in and pop somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Tupac. How about that, right? Okay, so Tupac's at the MGM, gets in a fight with Orlando Anderson because that necklace was stolen at the strip mall, the Death Row necklace. They get in the fight. Orlando Anderson leaves. Pac and his crew leave. They get to a red light. As far as we know, before you, a white Lincoln or a Cadillac.
White Cadillac.
Yeah, happens
That's
to come
all
up at the red light at the exact same time as they're going to Club 6 or whatever.
All that's true.
All that's true. Okay, now, who's in that car?
I don't know. Okay.
Okay,
now,
well, this is what I know just from Greg and the documents. It was Keefe, Orlando Anderson. I'm not going to remember the other names. They're all dead anyway. The only one that wasn't dead, it was Keefe.
Yeah, but Keefe, I find it hard for myself to confess to a capital murder case.
Well, they gave him a deal. Remember, he was looking at life for all that ecstasy.
They let him out.
So his choice was, you tell us what happened and prove it, or you're going to get buried.
But
so he says Orlando Anderson, who was at the time the head of the Crips that Tupac hit, where it wouldn't have mattered if it was Tupac, like you said about the streets earlier. You made a very good point. When you're playing with those gangs, it don't matter if you're Tupac, Biggie, John Doe, and you hit the leader. He's going to come after you, right, Ivan?
Well,
he's got to.
Well, I think that now that's not the story that law enforcement is working on. The people who were right behind the car, they're dead. The people who were Gaddafi, who were riding behind the car, and somebody said that they saw the shooter's arm and it was as black as the gun. There are descriptions that don't describe Orlando. And
I don't know, man. He's pretty dark.
But Orlando... But
Pull up Orlando Anderson.
I see a lot of people don't even know it. The Ice Cube in Orlando was bused to the same school. That Orlando is
yeah, I mean, he's dark, man.
No, he's not that dark. Tupac is darker. Orlando is not that dark, but
I don't know. At night, he puts his arm out. I don't think you can tell. That's my opinion, but I respect your opinion.
But listen, this is the deal.
So we agree that the Cadillac drove up on the side, right?
Yeah, the Cadillac drove up. That's you can't deny that.
And then there was a car behind it with Gaddafi, the Outlaws. Right?
Yeah, the Tupac's crew.
Okay, so then you take me from there.
Okay, so what we really have is you can't just walk up and blow Tupac's brains out and not get caught. If you're gonna kill somebody like that, then it needs to be something so that you can distance yourself.
And it was in Vegas, and there was a lot of corruption.
Yeah,
a shit ton of corruption.
A lot of corruption, and got to remember now, this happened 6 months after Dr. Dre was fired from Death Row.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so what really happened was, law enforcement, they got everything. They're going after Dre. But Dre was extremely, probably really upset that his bodyguard, now you bigger than me? Wait a minute.
He's running Death Row.
I hired you. You were my flunky. You were my slave. And now you're bigger than me. No, I can't have that. The night Tupac was murdered is the night Death Row was put out of business.
That is true. It was over after that. Machiavelli, that was it.
You out of business.
They released Machiavelli, and that was it.
That was it. And Suge was broken, and he went to Dre's house and said, just give me my masters. And the news media, I remember that night, and the news media asked Dre, what did he want? Oh, he wanted his masters, because everybody was looking at Suge like he's the monster.
Well, in Bomb First in the beginning, they probably did it to sell a pile of records, but it goes, Suge shot me. Suge shot me. You can hear it in the very beginning of Bomb First, the first track.
But
that throws everything on Suge, which I personally don't think Suge would care if it made him a ton of money, and it did.
Well, but Suge, you'd have to be a lunatic to have somebody murdered while you're sitting in the car with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't. You got to distance yourself from it.
Not to mention that's pretty risky.
Yeah,
you're gonna
can go anyway.
You're gonna trust somebody to go.
Well, see, go back, and I'm gonna show you how. Go back to the RoboCop. Yeah. Now scroll down. Stop right there. Go, Miss Chalet. This video right here, he shot at me.
He shot at you?
No, at Miss Chalet. That's how I was able to convince Lieutenant Thompson, LAPD, that they needed to investigate Dr. Dre for the murders of Tupac and Biggie. Any man who shoots at his wife.
Yeah.
See,
they keep that quiet.
Yeah, see, that's been quiet.
You ever hear that?
I dug all of this up in my investigation. I'm like, oh, shit, here he was.
Yeah, like that.
But she says in here, he shot at me, the bullet missed me by inches. And I told the lieutenant, anybody who says Dr. Dre didn't kill anybody without a thorough investigation is an infected roach. And he says, okay, I'm putting your name in the Biggie file.
But so what do you think happened? So does Dre pay Anderson to shoot him? How does Pac die?
I believe,
in your opinion, yeah.
I believe Pac was gunned down by expert marksmen, the police, the crooked cops. I believe Orlando was a scapegoat. He's a victim. You know, he's a victim. He was put there to take the blame.
But how do you disregard the fight at the MGM?
That was,
you know, if you're the head of the Crips and somebody punches you and on the ground and kicks you, you don't think Ivan, from coming from there, that he's not going to get in that car on his own and go blast him?
Well, okay, Suge, if we look at the fight, Suge kicked him too.
I know.
And Suge got bigger feet, and he's bigger than Tupac. So which kick you gonna feel the most?
Yeah, but I'm gonna take out Tupac.
Why?
Because Tupac punched me right in the face, right blind forward in front of my boys. And if I take Tupac out, that hurts Suge a lot more than taking Suge out.
Well, it's just not.
But then again, you know,
see,
to only hit Tupac. I mean, it's not like these guys are trained artsmen, or what would you call it?
Marksmen.
Trained marksmen. You know what I mean?
Right.
For him to only get a graze.
Well, the when you really do the research, it says that the police killed Tupac and Biggie. Both. Listen.
So you think Orlando he was not the shooter?
No.
So you think the police were in that Cadillac?
Yes.
And
they were driving it.
But why would Keefe say it was Orlando
hey,
or somebody else?
If you tell me you're going to let me out of jail, if I lie to you.
Why don't you just say it's the cops?
Huh?
Why don't you just say it's the
cops? He ain't
cops?
coming out of jail.
Yeah. But that was Vegas,
That's
though.
because they want to close. Well, see, the story that you're saying came up after I wrote this. The story that you're telling me about the little homie Orlando, that comes up after I write this blog. After Dr. Dre, I put this on his page before you get that story. They tried to kill me after I wrote this.
I'm sure they didn't like that. I'm sure they didn't like that too much, especially that one.
Yeah, he put it.
I bet that didn't go over too well. No.
Yeah, I put it on his page. Yeah, here. Yeah, I know you killed Tupac and Biggie. And so then while I was in custody fighting the life case, because I'm telling you something about this thing. This thing is spiritual, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man. The only reason why I'm here today is because I believe that I got Tupac, I got Biggie, I got James Brown, I got my mama, I got Marvin Gaye and everybody up there in heaven saying, help him. Look at what they doing. Help him. Because see, this thing is spiritual. This thing is spiritual. This thing is something that when God decides it's time for a reckoning, it's time for you to pay for your sins.
But I still don't understand how Dre organized it. So explain to me, from your research, how did Dre organize the death of Tupac? How did it happen?
This thing was financed. You just don't kill a multi-million-dollar.
Absolutely.
See.
So take me, not the spiritual thing. Just take me. How does Dre organize this hit to go down, Tupac?
Well, the financier Dre, I don't believe he was able to finance it by himself. That's where Ice Cube comes in.
No P. Diddy.
No. He was investigated hard and heavy, and so if it would have been P. Diddy, he'd be gone already.
Okay.
He'd be gone. You're dealing with, those guys, they investigated P. Diddy, they investigated Suge, and they wasn't able to connect the dots. They always believed that those were hits. but they couldn't figure out who paid the money.
That was the whole thing.
That was the whole thing.
So there's a hit. That's clear. Your opinion is it was cops that were professionals doing it.
Well, see, they couldn't figure out who paid the money because everybody was dead.
Right.
Orlando's dead.
Everybody in that car is dead.
Poochie's dead.
Poochie's dead. Yeah.
Kevin Gaines is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's dead. So they couldn't connect it. But I was able to say, hey, look, you need to look at Dre.
So who finances the money to take care of Tupac? So Dre contacts Ice Cube for the money.
They get together.
They get the money. They send it to Cali. Or Vegas. Who do they send it to?
Well,
in your opinion, where does it go?
Well, see, all of these guys, everybody worked for Death Row. All of the cops worked for Death Row. And Dr. Dre was Suge's partner at Death Row. So whatever contacts Suge had, Dre had. So if Suge had the police in his pocket, then Dre had them in his pocket too. And whoever had the biggest paycheck. And when they came up with that paycheck for Pac and Biggie, hey, they jumped on it. They was about the money. And it took a lot of money to hit Tupac and Biggie. You just don't hit guys like that because they stomped you out. Hey, you stomped me out. Now I want to be on your record. That makes no sense. You know.
Yeah, but Orlando Anderson got stomped out over a fight.
Yeah, but it's a whole lot of people. He wasn't. If Tupac was the only one that stomped him, then I would say okay. But you had quite a few people there, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. If all them people had stomped me, and I got up and I decided I wanted to retaliate, I wouldn't just shoot one person.
But if you had to pick one, who would you pick?
The biggest one. I'd pick the biggest one. If I had to get back, I'd pick the biggest one with the biggest foot. The one who hurt me the most is the one who I'd want to get.
I see what you're saying. If it's strictly over a fight,
yeah,
then you would go after the one who hate you the most.
Hit me the hardest.
Yeah, I get that.
You hit me harder than anybody else, brother. You know, and so they did. There was a think tank I saw with the police someplace, and because there's all kind of theories that they were shooting at Suge. It wasn't Tupac now, you know. They wasn't shooting at Tupac. They was trying to the Suge Knight wife theory.
What's her theory?
They were shooting at Suge.
All the bullets went so low. I mean, how the hell could it get to Suge?
And they said so law enforcement they did the think tank, and they said, well, if they was trying to hit Suge, how could they miss him?
Yeah,
as big as he is.
Right.
And so they hit Pac. Those were expert marksmen. Those guys were hit in key, vital areas. Now, it's law enforcement obviously has found something that they're able to tie Ice Cube and Dre to the crimes.
Rob, pull up the car. Put in the BMW Tupac was shot in after he was shot. Because you can see it's all low. But why would Ice Cube want to be involved? What would be the benefit to him to be involved in getting rid of Tupac?
Eazy, well, number one, Eazy, let's say Eazy murdered by. They know Eazy was murdered. So
I mean, it's pretty clear to me. So I'm with you on that one.
So we'll get you back for Eazy. So Ice Cube and Eazy is tight. The NWA.
Right.
So they tight. Okay. And then not only that, Ice Cube and Dre.
Yeah, like Ivan, look at these bullets. Go back to the other one, Rob. How is that going to possibly hit Suge?
There's no way it could hit Suge.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is his, like,
shooting
no
at
disrespect to his wife, but
They're shooting at Pac.
that's where Pac's at. I mean, he's
Yeah,
not even aimed anywhere near
want,
him.
They want Pac out of the way.
Yeah.
See, everybody should Ice Cube and Dr. Dre.
See if you can blow up that one.
They know about the music. They both know that, hey, we freaking to take this music. Ice Cube got a song out that says, "We got it now, you ain't getting it back." So they know about the beat making. This is legendary. This is an opportunity.
There's not even one high.
No, these are expert marksmen.
Yeah. You're
That's
right.
expert.
Hey, you're right.
That's not no.
That's a perfect
That's
shot.
not no Orlando Anderson.
That is a perfect shot.
Huh? Those are expert marksmen. That's not Orlando Anderson.
If it was just some guy shooting, he'd just be boop, 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 and it'd be
Yeah.
fucking things
That's
everywhere.
a perfect shot, right?
I don't.
I mean, to fucking hit him. I mean,
Come on, do you think that Orlando Anderson was that much of an expert of a marksman? I don't think.
Ivan, I'll give you that because
if you're shooting too, you're just shooting. So you're just boop, 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 boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, and there's bullets going to be here, there, here, there, and they're kind of centrally located.
they're and exactly
Yeah.
kind of almost at the body parts you would want to hit.
Yeah. So this is somebody who spent time in the gun range.
Yeah.
They know where to hit. They know where the vital organs is, and they're gonna hit it. Okay. And so they
Ivan, I'll tell you what, the picture of that car, that's a big thing.
yeah,
You should have that on your website because when you dig into it, like we are right now, we're
Yeah.
blowing it up.
yeah,
Things are starting to look a little bit
different.
like something.
Yeah, see, it
Rob,
was-
what are you thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, unless Orlando Anderson's practicing at the shooting range 3 times a week
I mean,
and taking days off from the corner. I mean,
now, don't get me wrong. Before I was a preacher, I grew up as a Crip. So
could you shoot like that if you wanted to?
I'm a good shot. The guy who tried to kill me, I shot him. But, but I don't think I would be able to pull up to a car and dump like that and hit all the vital organs through the.
And then we got to put in perspective too. This is fight night. There's cars everywhere. Tons Tyson fight.
And plus, you're drinking.
Yeah.
You're drunk. Probably. You're not firing straight. at
Right.
it.
There's no way those guys.
When you're drunk, you're driving. You're following somebody. You're just
The Crips went to the Tyson fight. What'd they do? Have Diet Coke?
Nah, they were drinking. They were drinking.
You know.
I tell you what, I don't think a person who was upset or angry could shoot that accurate either.
No.
No, that's true.
Did they do?
Because you would have to be.
Did they do a blood alcohol test on any of the guys when they got them? I wonder.
I don't think they. Suge left the scene
Sure, but I'm
first.
the shooter though. I'm saying, did they do the alleged shooter? Did they?
Nah, because they talked to Orlando and they let him go. So, but he's the only one that they question, and because
they talked to him and then they killed him. He was dead within what 3-6
Days.
months.
Yeah, because see, the guys who did this don't want to get caught, and the only way not to get caught is you have to get rid of everybody, and that leads to you. And so that's why these guys were able to fly above the radar for many years.
Fuck. See, I never looked at the car like that and how accurate that was. So
Yeah.
so your theory and from your research is that Dre and Ice Cube got together. Ice Cube had an issue because of Eazy E, right?
When I went to law enforcement, I went with just Dre. You need to look at Dre. And then after the article came out, Demons beats demons and gangsters in the world of Dr. Dre. Then I called back and they said, yeah, we're going to go after Dr. Dre. And I said, maybe Cube has something to do with that too. He said, yeah, we're going to get him too. So they figured out, they were able to see the link. But I initially just went with Dre. So Cube is obviously the financer,
And you're saying because of Eazy E. That's Cube's involvement in killing Tupac?
I think that it could be just also greed. You know,
I just don't. I
could
just
be
can't
greed.
see where Ice Cube would fit in killing Tupac.
Yeah, the greed.
He had a problem with Tupac,
The greed. Yeah,
Greed.
the greed.
but he wasn't
It's-
really doing anything.
It's the
then.
greed.
What was Ice Cube doing then, though?
Cause see what this is the killing of Tupac is the killing of an opportunity. And the reason I was able to figure out also that they did it is because they blocked my opportunities. See, it's the same thing. If you kill a man, you kill his opportunity. And if you kill a man's opportunity, that man is dead. Without opportunity in life, it's no good because everything is about opportunity. So Tupac was murdered, his opportunity gone. Biggie murdered, his opportunity gone. And with that opportunity gone, that put Ice Cube and Dre and Snoop as the only rappers that was basically left at that time. And they were able to reassemble and build from there. But it's greed.
Now, do you think that you think P. Diddy had nothing to do with Tupac? Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
So Ice Cube, Dre, they set it up. Now, do you think the actual shooter, the professional shooter, do you think he's still alive?
I don't think nobody who had shooting them guys and who could have connected them to Ice Cube and Tupac,
Dead men tell
to
no
Ice
tales,
Cube and
right?
Dre still alive. I don't think so.
What's that, Rob?
Dead men tell no tales.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't think that that the killer is still alive.
So do you think that just if we're saying Ice Cube and we're saying Dr. Dre, you think those are the only two dudes right now that know that they did it? You know, themselves. They had it. They had this hit ordered, or do you think there's somebody else out there, wives, girlfriends, somebody that knows?
Well, no doubt there's other people that know. After all of these years, they've assembled and they have friends. I'm pretty sure that kind of know what happened. Yeah. But at that time, I believe all involved. Suge too.
Suge too involved in what?
Yeah, I believe all involved in a certain kind of way.
Even in Tupac?
Yeah, I believe all involved. I believe that everybody knows who did it and why they did it.
But I mean, you don't think Suge let it happen or knew it was going to happen, do you? I always thought maybe.
I always thought he had something in it.
You know why I thought maybe? Because Tupac wanted to leave Death Row. He wasn't getting paid. Like, that fucking car wasn't Tupac's car. That was under Suge's name. Everything that was given to Tupac, like the little peanuts that Suge was giving him, he started bitching and bitching and bitching in his songs, especially a lot of the unreleased songs, as you know, Ivan, that had then come out. And he was leaving. As far as I know, he was leaving with the Outlaws.
Well, from what I don't know.
Or maybe an umbrella.
Well, they said Death Row East, that he was supposed to go do
Oh, yeah, that's
Death
right.
Row East.
Forgot about that.
So I don't think Tupac was Suge's golden goose. So, but I'm skeptical about the $3 million that Dre owes Suge.
What do you mean?
Dre owes Suge. Suge is complaining that Dre owes him $3 million.
Suge's complaining that the world owes him $3 million.
Suge was shot up 9 times at Chris Brown's party.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Chris Brown's my favorite,
Yeah.
by the way.
He was shot up 9 times at Chris Brown's party.
Yeah, I remember.
So and he was saying that
He's so fucking big you can't even kill him with 9
that's-
shots.
that's why he was scared. That's why when he went to the the shoot of Straight Outta Compton. He was so scared he ran over the guy.
He didn't even try to. I don't think
he was scared.
He was
scared for his life. You didn't shot him 9 times. And now,
Fuck out of here.
He shouldn't have went. He shouldn't even went to the shoot.
No.
But he tried to play hard, and he was there with somebody who wanted to get rid of him. So he shot him 9 times. But he was saying that, and then he wanted to sue him, but he's saying that he owes him $3 million. $300 million or something like that. It's a lot of money. And I'm wondering why he said he owes him that for some type of management thing. And I'm wondering, is that because, hey, you let us kill Tupac and you make money on one artist? I don't know. But I know one thing is that it didn't have to happen. It's sad that happened. And
do you have any theory who shot him at Chris Brown's concert?
Nah.
Party? No theory on that one?
Nah.
Too many on that one.
Nah, I don't know nothing about that. Only thing.
Well, he's staying the hell away from Suge. He's like, just in case somebody's out there that Suge can make a vote, I don't know nothing. Hey, look, I don't blame you.
I'm
messing with you.
I don't know nothing about the Chris Brown thing. I just know it happened.
Yeah.
And he says that it was Dre that put the hit on him for the Chris Brown thing. So, but this thing, man, with Ice Cube and it's a sad thing because it's a tragedy for the African American community. Because we've lost Tupac, a great asset to us. We've lost Biggie, a great asset to us. And I don't know about you, but I enjoy the hell out of Ice Cube's movies.
No, I do.
I enjoy the hell out of his movies, man. I can watch Anaconda over and over. I enjoy this guy's movies, I like his songs.
See, Ivan, that speaks a lot about you because like me personally, on a personal level, I hate Robert De Niro with a passion. But as an actor, he's great. He was even good in the movie with the girl where he was at the airport and like the Family Guy.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. Yeah. But as a person,
I have to admit, Ice Cube, it's a tragedy for us because we lost Tupac, we lost Biggie, and then Ice Cube and Dre are heroes. But then we find out that they're not so heroes. So it's a tragedy for us as the African American community, and I it's sad because Ice Cube and Dr. Dre managed to. Doesn't matter how much money you have, because the scripture says, "What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?" Money does you no good if you're going to wind up on death row. So what they managed to do is waste my life, Tupac's life, Biggie life, and their life.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I was a big Tupac fan, and my best friend in high school, he was a Biggie guy. Mm-hmm. And every white, black, Spanish, Asian, Chinese, it didn't matter. They were listening to Tupac or Biggie.
Yeah.
And they were blasting it down the windows with remember us kids used to have the bass system?
Biggie.
You were Biggie. See, I was Tupac.
Biggie.
I was blasting.
See, sometimes the words just hypnotize me.
But I like Tupac's lyrics.
Yeah.
Because, Biggie, he had good lyrics like, pop lyrics maybe like rapping, where Tupac had hardcore lyrics about the streets and what it what
was
things.
Biggie was more like party, baby.
More like a party.
We're chilling.
Right.
Yeah, Biggie was a laid back metaphor. I think Biggie was like a freestyler.
Yeah, he was. That's the way to put it.
Yeah, I think
where Tupac, every line
was
meant
penned.
Yeah.
He penned every line. Tupac didn't much freestyle. He penned every line,
and every line, to me at least, had a meaning.
Oh yeah,
I must have listened. I think I listened to every single song. But then when his mom got a hold of the unreleased tracks and changed the beats, remember that?
Yeah. Well, see, those guys, those they were geniuses of that time.
Now let's go to Biggie, because this is a big one here. Now, if you're P. Diddy and you're Biggie, why in the hell would you go to California to shoot Hypnotize, or that was what it was, right? Hypnotize. Why in the hell would you take your best guy there 6 months after Tupac gets shot to California, where if you're not worried about Suge because you're in cahoots with him or you already know, still, there's so many Tupac fans in California. You're going to take Biggie and you are going to go to California 6 months after that? To me, there is no way that Biggie or that Puff Daddy was not behind that one. There's no possible way in my mind, because I know for sure, I saw the video and everything, even though that guy keeps changing his story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you love him. What's the security guard's name? It was for...
Oh, Gene?
Gene, yeah. He's changed his story 17,000 times. But the original, they leave the club. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They leave the club. There's two green vans. Biggie gets in the van. He wants to go meet the girls. Diddy, supposedly, gets told, hey, there's trouble up front. He was supposed to be in the same van as Biggie, but Diddy goes back into the club. Then he comes back out and goes in another van way behind Biggie, or cars behind Biggie. They roll up. Biggie's right there. Boom. Done. Now, who is P. Diddy with Biggie around? You know who he is? You know who he is in 2022?
What he got in
come on, Ivan.
The award,
you know it.
the award that he just got in 2022.
He would never have gotten it.
No, he got that award because
P. Diddy.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that that might just have to do with the people who were putting together the fact that the case was solved. Might have just decided, hey, we'll give this to. I think
it's ridiculous.
It's just not possible.
Just tell me, where would P. Diddy be if Biggie was around? He would not have his TV station. He would not have had that hit album with Faith. He would not have another hit album after that, a clothing line, a cologne, sunglasses, suits, on and on. Sean John, no. You know it, and I know it, Ivan.
I just don't think that I think that Sean went to Puffy. He went to Harvard, something like that. I think he went to a great school, and I don't think that that P. Diddy would kill his golden goose.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you why I think he would.
Go ahead.
He was scared to death that Suge was going to kill him. There's proof that $1 million was wired. There's proof. There's paperwork. You can't deny it. He wired $1 million over to California. If you get rid of Biggie, yeah, that's just like you're saying about Dre. If you get Tupac out of the way, Dre's on top. You get Eazy E out of the way, okay? Eminem's your new golden goose. Diddy gets Biggie out of the way. Now, he may feel, okay, well, maybe Suge won't come try to fucking kill me. And number two, the guy in my way, my superstar, is now gone. So now I come in, make it, and he did make a great song with Faith. I mean, that was a great song.
Right.
But that would have never happened if Biggie was alive.
But I don't think that...
he would be in the dust.
Well... this is what...
You know what he would be doing? Carrying Biggie's bag.
Well, this is what Suge said. Suge said, if you solve one case, you solve both of them. Suge said that whoever killed Tupac killed Biggie.
Suge's also a liar, gangster, nutcase.
They've already, the detective for the Biggie case is going after Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. He's assured me that for Biggie, they want Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. Puffy is not mentioned.
In your opinion, you really think he had nothing to do with killing Biggie, or maybe not killing him, but allowing it to happen?
No, I don't.
Because you don't want to stretch on that one.
They found the according to who was it? Poole. They found the SS Malibu at David Mack's house, along with the
the crooked cop David Mack. Yeah,
along with the German ammunition. They found all of that at the David Mack's house after he did the bank robbery. So there again, those are the people who work with Death Row, and the people who work with Death Row, whoever Suge had in his pocket, Dre had in his pocket.
So I'm with you on that. I can buy into that, right? Like you said, that the same, like Suge said, actually, the same people that did one probably did the other.
Yeah.
Right? So you have the Marksmen, and we know that they're dirty cops. I mean, that's been proven beyond belief.
Because Biggie also now, if you pull up his car, he's also hit from outside the car.
Yep.
And there's no way that, they say Poochie did that. They say Poochie killed Biggie. That's the word. That Poochie. And so that's why he's shot in the back. Because he's the killer, and then he's killed on his motorcycle. But again,
I agree with you on the Marksman, one way or another, especially after we see once he finds the car.
Is that
there? Look on the right hand.
See,
it's right hand side.
You see?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. This is expert marksman.
Yep.
Those they almost in a row.
That's what I'm saying. When you shoot, you're just shooting. You're shooting. Like, this is somebody who's clearly shooting a target.
Yeah.
And making it,
making it count.
I mean, even if you're, not an expert marksman, but even if you know how to handle a gun, but you're driving by, cars bouncing around, you're just firing because you just want to kill somebody. So you're firing a window, firing here, firing there. You got shots going everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where it's like.
This is where you're aiming, and you're firing, and you know what you're doing.
You know exactly where.
This is an expert.
Yeah.
And the only people who can be an expert like that were in the clique at that time was law enforcement. And so you still have the I just don't believe. I know for a fact that Detective Dupree is not going after Puffy. He's going after Dr. Dre and Ice Cube for Biggie. This is the case file that my name was initially put in. It was put in the Biggie case file. Because when I first called Las Vegas in 2016, Detective Long was like, "You call me with that stuff, and I would click."
Yeah, enough of it, huh?
Yeah, you didn't want to hear it. I say, "Dr. Dre, click," and so then they tried to hit me, and once I went to custody, and I learned how to talk to the police while I was in custody, and when I came home, I got to the lieutenant, and I got my name in his homicide file. So, and it's him in his homicide file, they're going after Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. If Puffy had something to do with this, they would have had him in jail a long time ago. The detectives are not stupid.
So what are you going to tell me? He didn't have that gun with Jennifer Lopez either that he put on Shine and then didn't do shit for him and let him rot, and when he got out didn't help him?
I don't know about all of that. Yeah. All I know is
you need to know about that so you can have a better opinion if he was involved in this shit.
With this, because this right here, the same people who killed Tupac and Biggie are bothering me.
I agree with you that. I mean, those are fucking good shots, man.
That's what I'm saying. You're firing.
You're sharp. You're expert. That's how. Look how that's like in a row.
Yeah,
in a row, and they didn't miss.
You know what's getting me on that picture? Look at that seatbelt buckle. That's a perfect shot for Biggie. Like he's a heavier guy.
Yeah,
right now.
You hit him right there. With all that weight, the bullet's probably if it's a hollow point, it's going to travel all over.
Yeah, and
You're not going to live through that.
That went right through him.
Right through him, and then they made sure with the other three.
It's that's why they were able to fly above the radar.
Rob, what do you think? You think it's the same people? What's your opinion? We're all men. This is how things should be, right? Like with this politic bullshit.
You got some more coffee?
Yeah, sure.
I think the biggest, in my opinion, there's. I know you're saying.
Is it empty?
I know you're saying
Water.
Dr. Dre, and you're saying Ice Cube. But I think it would be Suge is the main. I just think he's the focal point of all this, in my opinion. I always thought it was Suge. I think I'm not saying he's the mastermind, but he's the guy that's involved with both. And yeah, they had cops on their side, they had guys on their side, and I think Puffy is in it. It's hard to say that you're the underscore. You're the underscore to this guy. You're like you said, you're carrying the guy's bag. You're you get him out of the way, you now get catapulted to stardom and everything you've ever wanted. And it may not have been the same with Biggie. Maybe Biggie told him that. Now listen, you're just with me, but I'm the guy. And to me, I mean, I just think Suge is the main component of both of it.
What about the marksmen? What about the shooters? That we never looked at.
Yeah, I'm
like
looking
that.
at the pictures, like I said earlier.
I don't think Orlando Anderson.
If
could do
Orlando
that.
Anderson, after drinking, and he had to be drinking, right?
Yeah, and upset.
And upset, and you're driving in a car, and somebody's flying. I'm pulling up alongside you, Tommy. If I'm gonna try to kill you, I'm just boom, 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 boom. I'm just firing. So it's going to the window there. I may have missed 20 shots too because I can't fucking hit the cars we're going. Those are like do
and out.
So it's basically like the gun was pulled, boom, 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 out, done. We probably got him, but we're getting out here too now. But we got him because we know where we aimed. Same with that one. Look at the Biggie one. It's boom, boom, boom. Now one was low, right?
Yeah,
One's
and
really low.
they said it was the SS Impala, and they find that at David Mack's house, according to City of Lies.
Remember, David Mack was one of the dirty cops.
Yeah.
He robbed the bank. He's the one who robbed the bank. So they find the SS at his house, and again, you have the death row connection.
Now, do you think, going back to your Dr. Dre theory, going back to Ice Cube, do you think, and I asked you this about anyone else knowing about this, do you think Snoop knows anything?
Well, the detective said that Snoop had nothing to do with it.
That's fine, nothing to do with it, but do you think he knows something?
I would find it hard not to
know something.
That Dre and Cube were responsible. But Detective Dupree said I asked him so I could be ready for the show so that I know what I'm talking about, and he said that Snoop had nothing to do with it. So the only thing Snoop did was what I noticed early on is that Snoop said, I know who killed him, and he blames Suge right away. So he sends the investigation in Suge's direction. He says, I know who killed him, the man who was sitting beside him. And so, but Detective Dupree said that Snoop had nothing to do with it. And I'm glad.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I don't think he had anything to do with it, but I think he knows.
Yeah, he knows. But I'm glad that he's not involved.
And even toward the end, right before Tupac died, if you remember, Snoop was kind of starting to move away from all that battling. They did All Eyes on Me. They did Two of America's Most Wanted. And then after that, they went on the One Award show and they did the thing. But probably the last 6 months Tupac was alive, maybe even a year, I noticed that Snoop had really calmed down a lot. He wasn't really getting involved. Like, he wasn't on the tracks when he was hitting, Mobb Deep and everybody else.
Yeah,
Tupac. He
when
wasn't
he was-
involved in all that.
All that when he was spitting all that.
Yeah, you could see
fire.
that Snoop was kind of staying out of all of it.
Mm.
And then when this did happen, he went over with Master P.
Yeah,
Like a kind of like a safe area at the
yeah,
moment.
Yeah, well,
Smart move.
Snoop was riding around when this thing happened. When they killed Tupac and they killed Biggie, Snoop went out and bought an armored car. Man,
I bet he did.
Snoop was riding around in an armored car,
Smart man.
and law enforcement told him you can't do that.
What?
Said
Why not?
You can't ride around in an armored car. So Snoop was
Is that actually illegal?
huh?
You can't ride around in an armored car?
I guess it's you can't have something that
Oh, there's only an East Coast, West Coast, or whatever type of war you want. Guys are dropping left and right.
What do you want me to do?
20 guys that were in a car in Vegas are dead.
Yeah.
Another 10 in Cali are dead. No, Snoop. You weren't a part of it for 10 years. You can't have an armored car.
Has anyone though, like really going back to this again, looking at the vehicle there, looking at the shots as we saw, looking at the, let me see if I have the big Tupac one still. Looking at the shots here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a police officer. I'm I don't know, but was this brought up at all? Like, look at how perfectly aligned these shots are. I mean, has anyone really talked about this? I haven't heard it myself.
Well,
Have they brought
This
this
is
up?
the
and-
first time I've heard about it
Yeah.
and really looked at
we're
it
because
because of you.
the first ones looking at it like this.
Yeah.
Because everybody just threw it off on Suge, threw it off as would never be solved, and then after I did my thing on the 2016 blog, then they blamed Orlando, trying to get it, hurry up and get it closed. Somebody knows we did this. We better close this case. See, that's what that was.
Everybody on the planet thought Orlando.
Yeah, well, see, once they found out that somebody knew that they did it, they said we have to close this case,
So
or else we're going to get in trouble because, I guess I'm a fan of Ice Cube's movies, but I'm also a fan of having what I deserve in this lifetime, and I coined the phrase 24/7. I give you guys beat making. Hey, man, I got my talent. I want to eat too. I want to be able to. Having talent shouldn't be a crime, and it shouldn't. You ought to be. Your gift should make room for you.
But again, back to P. Diddy. Why does he wire $1 million?
I don't know. I haven't seen that. If that's something that's out there, but this is Detective Dupree, who's the lead detective on the Biggie case. He has not mentioned P. Diddy to me as far as who he's going after.
Go back to that Tupac picture and see if you can find a better picture of where the shots were, because I think they're almost identical.
To both cars.
To both cars.
Yeah,
when you do
yeah,
it
because
close.
they want the kill shot. I myself, I was wondering, was Kevin Gaines the shooter?
When you said David Mack, I was thinking, because you know why I was thinking that too? Because Mack kind of seemed more of a loose cannon, where Gaines, from what I read and all that other, he seemed more, how do you want to say it? Maybe responsible in a way, or precise, mature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we do know because of City of Lies that David Mack was the spotter on the walkie-talkie. Remember?
Yeah.
In City of Lies,
that's right.
we see David Mack, but we don't see Kevin Gaines.
No.
And we don't see Rafael Perez, but we see David Mack as the spotter.
I think you're right.
I got a random question, and I don't know the answer to this. So, looking at this picture I pulled up, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
When whoever shot, right? Whoever fired the shots, whoever we're saying
Look at how
did they fire through the glass too, or they're just firing into the car door?
Well, I think the window was down.
The window was down.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
So
Yeah, it was down.
I've never shot anybody before, but if the window's down, Why am I not just shooting him right in the fucking head or firing at him through the window? Why am I doing this?
Oh, because those are kill shots. You're shooting at a bigger target opposed to shooting at a smaller target.
You can move your head too.
The head is a smaller target. He's shooting at the body.
That can't move either. That's stuck in the seatbelt. But my head can move.
Vital organs.
Yeah, my head can move.
Yeah.
I can duck. I can move around and get down but my body's staying in.
You might miss. The head is a smaller target. You might miss that, but he's shooting at the body.
Right, because if say he bends down,
he can.
say Pac, say just by chance he's looking in the rear view and he sees this car creeping up.
Get down.
It's not like he's a stranger to this. Yeah. He gets down.
Because from what I hear, Pac was trying to crawl into the back seat.
Yeah.
When the shooting started, from what I heard, he was trying to crawl into the back seat.
Well, are those bullet holes in the back? The back door there?
Yeah, right. It's all in a row. Well, I mean, there's a low one, right? We can say there's two. But they're pretty much in the same general area.
Yeah, they're all going to strike vital organs.
Yeah.
You know, and when I first started investigating this thing, it said the cops killed Tupac and Biggie, and I was like, why in the world would the cops kill Tupac and Biggie?
Money.
Except for money.
Now go to the Biggie shot.
See that?
See if you can find a better one on that one. Because that's a good comparison. I've never seen this.
Yeah,
as a fan, I was digging.
These shots are like right on the
right there.
Yeah, see, look at that.
Shit.
Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Look how precise that is.
Yeah, no way in hell.
See, that's an expert.
That's an expert.
And the only people who were around to be experts at that time were the police. So the theory that the police killed him is correct.
Now go back to Tupac.
The theory that the police is the shooter is correct.
Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to the other one.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Damn, that's close. That's close, Rob.
Yeah, they did. They just shot just enough, and when they was done, it's over. These are kill shots. They hit vital organs.
Wow.
They didn't survive that. Ice Cube, that's why Ice Cube said you have to see who wanted to take their place, who wanted them out the way. He said it wasn't East Coast, West Coast. He said there was some kind of hit. He says it twice. Go back to my video, my YouTube channel. Go to my channel again. Okay. Go right there. Ice Cube reveals the truth. This is the first one that let me know that he knew what happened.
Understand this is Cube, not Calvin. So
exactly. That's exactly different. Who I want.
Might be a little different.
I might turn into Eddie on that.
Who killed Tupac and Biggie? I think both of these dudes were assassinated in some kind of way. More Biggie than Tupac. I think Tupac might have got killed by a dude that they had an incident with earlier that day, but Biggie's seems a little government.
So you see?
Yeah.
You see, he can't even remember the lie that you and I can discuss. Now, you and I can discuss Orlando Anderson like water.
Right.
Okay? We know the lie, but he can't remember it.
So he just jumps right to Biggie.
That guy that he's trying his best to remember the lie that we've been taught.
And then he goes right to Biggie because that he can.
But he knows the truth, so he says the first thing that comes out of his mouth is these guys were assassinated in some kind of way. Then he tries to clean it up. But he can't remember the lie. See? So, and that was the first hint that when I started researching, I said, oh, here he is again. This is the guy. You did this, And let me say this. The solving of the Tupac and Biggie case is prophetic. This is a prophetic thing that I've done. They have gotten the attention of God. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre have gotten God's attention. I'm a preacher. I work for him, and I speak for him. He's extremely irritated with them. They've been playing God. So he's decided, I'm going to show up, and I'm going to show you who God really is. You see,
so then tell me, right, with that being said, so then tell me how Ice Cube, Dr. Dre plan out the California killing of Biggie, because you got to get Biggie to California.
Well, once he came here, that was it.
But only a moron would go to California. If P. Diddy didn't know anything, I mean.
Well, let's first say
let's say you're right, and P. Diddy had nothing to do with it. Then he is the dumbest guy on the planet to go to California 6 months ahead.
Well, it's the same thing.
This is your biggest rapper.
Well, he didn't think. They didn't think that. They know they hadn't done nothing wrong.
Who?
Biggie.
Okay.
He knows I've done nothing.
But it doesn't matter. The people in California think he did. They think either Biggie did it, Biggie had somebody do it, P. Diddy did it. You know that. At that time, everybody thought Bad Boy did it.
They have a clear conscience.
No.
And when you have a clear conscience, you move differently. And I wouldn't dare blame.
I wish I had the paper. I had the transcript.
I wouldn't dare blame the dead for being murdered.
I'm not blaming the dead. I'm blaming Diddy.
Do you have a right to come here or to come to California? They had a right to come to California and then return home safely.
No, that's stupid, Ivan.
Well,
that's a stupid move.
We can't.
Okay, Ivan, you run Bad Boy. Your biggest rapper is me. I was just in a massive battle with Tupac, who just got gunned down. Everybody thinks that your biggest rapper, the biggest guy you have on your label, had something to do with it, or you had something to do with it. You mean to tell me you're going to go to California 6 months later because you got a clear conscience when the entire state of California thinks that Bad Boy killed Tupac, their boy? Come on. Don't even sit there and try to say that to me, Ivan.
I don't even think that at that time anybody was thinking that they were involved at that time. The investigation was going at that time.
Ivan, come on. You can't sit here and say that.
Really?
No, you can't.
The investigation was going. At that time,
Ivan, you're going to sit here and tell me that California, 6 months after Tupac got killed, you're going to tell me that all those Tupac fans, all those Death Row fans,
had nothing to do with it.
Not you. I'm saying all the fans, all those people, you may not have, but you mean to tell me that a large majority didn't think that Bad Boy, not necessarily Biggie, just Bad Boy, didn't have anything to do with that? And it would be safe to bring your top artist 6 months later?
Well, it ain't
because of your conscience? That's just a stupid comment, Ivan.
It ain't safe to go nowhere, period.
Not after a West Coast, East Coast war and somebody just got killed.
We just had another rapper killed in Los Angeles the other day.
You're talking about night and day.
PB and Rock. But Biggie, the only thing I could say is Detective Dupree is not going after Puffy.
I understand that, but I'm saying between me and you.
I can't. Why would I blame Puffy for something the police ain't blaming him? So if the police ain't blaming him, I'm not going. My thing ain't on speculation. I ain't speculating
because the police say it.
No, I ain't speculating. The police report they going after Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. Dr. Dre and Ice Cube are responsible for the murders of Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace.
That might be so, but I don't know how you can sit across from me and tell me that Diddy had nothing to do with it.
Unless they arrest him, when they arrest him, if they arrest him, then I'll believe it.
So you think he just went to Cali because they had a clear conscience?
So, you know, it's
You got me on the Tupac one because those shots are perfect. You got me on the shots with Biggie. But come on, Ivan. A clear conscience?
I wouldn't. I don't think Puffy set his artist up. Why would you come all the way to California to set him up? You could have did it in New York.
No, you don't do it in New York. You do it in California because then
you could blame the other ones.
You blame California. You don't do it in New York. That would be even dumber.
Nah, I don't. Puffy.
Ivan, I can't believe you're a smart guy. I can't believe it.
It's only two people. The same people who are hindering my music career are responsible for the murders of Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace. It's Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. They got their hands on something, and they had a chance. How they got away with it for so long? Hey, those are the only two people.
I don't disagree.
That was never investigated. Everybody else, Suge was investigated right away.
Right away.
Puffy was investigated, and they investigated Puffy because his name was Puffy. It was Puffy, and then after
17 different names.
After they investigated Puffy, Puffy said, "I'm changing my name to P Diddy."
Then Diddy. And what the hell is he now today?
Diddy.
He's Diddy again.
It's Diddy. It's Diddy. He's Diddy. See, he changed his name after the investigation and the murders and all of that. He wanted to distance himself from all of that.
I'm sure he did.
So he changed his name to P. Diddy. And the law enforcement is not stupid. They investigated Suge and they investigated Puffy. Had either of those two men been responsible for either one of those murders, law enforcement would have detected it and they would have been gone already.
How can you say that? How can you say that?
Because they were investigated.
But they're crooked as hell. That the entire both of those cases that were investigated was as crooked as crooked can be, and you know that from your research.
But how can we? What makes Dr. Dre fly above the radar? He's
No, I'm not saying that. You made some very good points and proved some very. I mean, look. I'm not arguing with that.
I don't want to. I can't. If Detective Dupree had told me that he was going after Puffy, then I'd tell you that. But I made sure, I want to know from the lead detective in the case, who you going after? And so I made sure I checked on Snoop. They're not going after Snoop. They're not going after Puffy. They're not going after Suge. They're going after Dre and they're going after Cube. And everybody knows who did it.
Nobody knows who did it.
No.
You're telling me.
No, you don't know.
Yeah.
But when I say everybody, I mean that's
involved in this.
In that circle.
Yeah.
They all know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows Dre did that. Everybody knows Q did that.
So what do you think then happens? Do you think being a godly man and saying about, God, that, the light, the darkness, the light, there's always the light that comes out of the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
God knows this happened, right?
Right.
Is God going to come down and say, here it is, here they are, and it's going to happen?
Well,
while they're alive.
Well, the detectives are working on it. And so
what's your prediction, though? Do you think it's going to happen?
I think that they are going to, the more exposure it gets that they are responsible, when the people cry, they will act. You can't just, Dr. Dre's worth what, $500 million? Ice Cube is worth $160 million.
What's P. Diddy worth? Over $1 billion.
P. Diddy, he just now became worth $1 billion because Kanye got kicked off the list, though.
So do you really want to go after a billionaire?
So it's hard. It's hard to go after guys like that.
Like Dre's hard enough with his $500 million.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm gonna narrow it down and pick two, I'm gonna take Ice Cube and Dre. Because otherwise, I'm going against a billionaire that can get lawyers beyond any lawyer that they could ever imagine.
But when these murders happen, Puffy wasn't a billionaire. He just hit that status after
Yeah.
After Kanye got booted.
Well, he was on his way there the second Biggie got killed.
Well, I don't.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't. I'm not going to blame Puffy.
Okay, let's just say this.
Because I know.
How much do you think he made off that Faith Evans song?
I don't know.
A shit ton.
They all made a ton of money. I ain't made none yet.
Hey, me neither. And we're trying to figure it out here.
I'm the real beat maker out the West. Everybody done made a ton of money. I ain't made none yet. So
yeah,
and I ain't hating on nobody. I'm just saying, let me get mine. You know.
And I had the in, and we pulled up them cars, and those were some hell of a shots. So where's our money too?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't all that other stuff. My name is Wes. Homie, I ain't in that mess. I'm just trying to let everybody know I coined the phrase 24/7. I got my record label. Hey, I'm just trying to get paid like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to eat. But I would have never did try to do this if they hadn't hindered my life and also tried to kill me. You had Sammy the Bull on here, right?
No.
He wasn't on here?
No, he was on Patrick McDavid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's down the street.
Okay, so I saw Sammy the Bull on one of his shows, on a show. But Sammy the Bull, he'll let you know, he let us know when it's right to go to law enforcement and turn in somebody. John Gotti tried to hit him. And Sammy the Bull said, okay, I'm not finna waste my time trying to hit you. I'm going to be where you are. So he went to law enforcement, and he turned on John Gotti. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
So once somebody tries to kill you, you have the right to turn them into law enforcement. If you don't, you're a fool. If somebody tried to kill you, you don't turn them into law enforcement, you're a fool, because you can't go and try to kill them, then you'll wind up in jail. So you have to do what Sammy the Bull did. And he lets us know he's a real gangster now. Sammy the Bull, a real gangster. And he let us know if somebody tried to kill you, you do what I did. I turned in John Gotti, you do the same thing. It's still gangster because it's self-defense. And I want to say that too, because killing people isn't gangster.
It's weak.
Yeah. It's a very weak thing. And maybe they got it wrong, but if you really look at The Godfather, he says that we're not murderers despite of what this guy thinks. And when Michael hit all of the heads of the families, that was self-defense.
Yeah.
That was self-defense. They was getting ready to hit Mike.
Exactly.
And so Mike struck first. That was self-defense. And I'm saying that because I noticed all of the killing of all of these entertainers, the mob would have cut your toes off if you touch one hair of Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank Sinatra. We know that.
Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely right.
Huh? You don't touch Frank.
No,
you don't touch Frank Sinatra.
Believe me, I know for a fact, if you would have even flickered Frank Sinatra, you wouldn't have a hand anymore.
You wouldn't have a hand no more.
No.
No. You don't touch Frank Sinatra. You don't touch Sammy Davis Jr. And Dean Martin. Was Dean Martin?
Yeah.
Dean Martin. You don't touch them. You don't kill entertainers.
James Brown.
Yeah.
The Italians love James Brown, boy.
You
wouldn't even believe it. You guys got to listen to this. You wouldn't, my friends in South Philly, you wouldn't believe it. Just imagine everybody's at a bar, and it's all Italian people. James Brown comes on.
They stop. The
heaviest Italian guy who just ate 10 pounds of pasta, he gets off his chair. I'm telling you, and these guys don't get up for anything.
Yeah.
It was something with James Brown.
Yeah.
They had gotten a jukebox thing, and they thought it was the coolest thing in the world. James Brown, boom.
Yeah. But see,
I couldn't believe it.
See, the entertainment, you can't run the entertainment industry like the drug game. And somebody encroaches on your corner, and you say, get off my corner, they don't leave, and you pop them. You can't do that with the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry always has to be the pimp game. You can pimp whoever you want, But you can't go around killing every woman because she got a vagina.
Good point. Good point.
So you know, God's gonna always give birth to talent, and you can't go around killing people because God has given them talent. So the music industry cannot be ran like the drug game. It has to be. It can't be some gangster thing where we kill entertainers. It has to be the pimp game, because otherwise you will always be in a position to where you find a need to get rid of God's creation. So if we're going to do anything in the music industry, we've got to pimp talent. We can't kill talent. The mob pimped Sammy Davis Jr. They pimped Dean Martin. They pimped Frank Sinatra. They was always there. They pimped Elvis. They was always there. You don't kill entertainers. You don't kill entertainers.
Yeah.
Because killing is not entertainment unless it's on a fake movie. But in real blood and gore in real life is not entertainment. And so we have to be careful, and we have to get back to being the Berry Gordy. The greatest men of the Motown era is not Marvin Gaye.
We had Larry Johnson in.
Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah.
had
Yeah, we had Larry in. Yeah. He was a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Real nice guy.
But the greatest men from that era is Berry Gordy and Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson.
See, you're the more people you help, the greater you are. And they have outlived many of their artists, even the youngest, Michael Jackson. When Berry Gordy and Smokey saw Michael Jackson, he was just a little bitty toddler, and they were old men. They're still here because they followed what God said, and when you've been blessed, you ought to do what? Be a blessing to others. And so they did that. And I think that people are missing the mark in today's generation.
They're not paying it forward.
Yeah, they're not paying it forward. The rappers are being murdered on a regular basis, and that is something that you don't do. If you're a real gangster, you don't kill entertainment, you pimp it.
Make money from it.
Yeah, you make money off of it. That's what pimp. We're supposed to be pimps, not killers.
Yeah, because you're trying to make money.
You're trying
not
to make
kill your
money.
That's why I still say P. Diddy was heavily involved because he wanted money.
I'm not going to hate.
I know.
I'm not going to hate on Puffy.
Well, hey, we agreed to disagree.
Yeah,
no big deal.
We'll agree to disagree.
When God comes down, believe me, his ass is coming with him.
Puffy, I believe you're innocent.
Now, if Dr. Dre is sitting where Tommy's sitting right now, what do you say to him face to face right now?
If Dr. Dre's sitting
right across from you,
man, pay me, man. Man, what you doing, man? You messing up our spirituality, man. Music is spiritual. When Saul was possessed with a demon, David played the harp and chased the demon out of Saul.
This is what you would say to Dr. Dre.
Yeah. I'd say, hey, music is medicine. And we should always have more than one doctor in the house when it comes to distributing medicine. It should not just be one thing. You don't have to be greedy and do it all. Share. Freely you receive, freely you give. Greatness is a legacy. People think a legacy is what you do for yourself. A legacy is how many children you have.
Ivan, tell your lawyer to send me a letter. It's time for me to, I'm out of here. That's how long that will last, Ivan. You better get right to the point and say, look, give me my money.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. But
now.
Yeah, just pay me.
Otherwise, I'm going to continue with my boy, Dupree, right?
Yeah.
Dupree. And one of these days, you're going to get a knock that you don't like.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't, at this point.
Something like that. I wouldn't be doing that other shit. I'd be right to the point.
At this point, I wouldn't, I would just say, just give me my name.
Yeah.
Give me my name. Keep your money.
Keep your money. Give me my name.
Give me my name. Let me work. Let me break my back and work with my hands and earn a living for myself.
And
Keep your money.
And if I'm Dre, I say, you take that thing down about my what I did,
Craig, I'll give
and
you
I'll
the money,
tell you
take
what,
it down.
I'll give you your name. You'd have to wheel and deal.
Well, you know what? It's too late now. Law
Exactly.
enforcement already know that he did it. And
He don't need to know that. You're just trying to get your name.
Nah, I'm not going to play.
Nah,
with
I was
it.
supposed to be.
But it's too late now. Law enforcement knows that he did it. I wish. This is a sad day, as I said earlier, that he's a hero. This is not a great day that I have to tell the world that Dr. Dre and Ice Cube are responsible for killing two of our greatest artists, because we consider them to be two of our greatest artists. So it's nobody wins. It's a lose. It's a loss for our community. It's it's painful.
And you should also say, hey, you know that deal that you got with Beats that Apple bought from you?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take about 5% of that, pal.
1%. I'll take 1%.
1%. How much did he get? He got
A lot.
That's what made him a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's what made him a billionaire, is when he sold. It was the streaming platform that he sold. Now, a lot of people think it's the headphones.
That's what I thought.
No, it's the streaming platform.
Which one?
The Beats. He had a Beats streaming platform.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, he had a streaming platform, and Apple didn't have a streaming platform at the time. They only had the download site. And so they purchased the Beats Electronics, and the streaming platform came along with that. And the guy made some great business moves.
You're right. You could only download before.
Yeah.
Huh.
The guy made some great business moves, but when you put murder on your resume, that's just, how do you sleep at night, And there's always there's only been one person in history who actually got away with murder, and that was Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
He got away.
What about OJ?
what about OJ?
No, OJ's innocent.
All right.
Oh yeah.
The glove don't fit.
No, it was the Casanova Killer. Look it up. Google Glenn Rogers.
You know, I thought I thought maybe if he was innocent, if he wasn't, he cracks me up. So I mean, OJ's funny to me.
He was innocent, but now I'm wondering if the blonde-haired person that the maid saw him talking to was this guy. That's who killed Nicole.
Why do you think that?
He slept with her. She slept with him. His car was in front of her was seen in front of her house. And his brother says that he told him about Nicole.
Wow. He is an American serial
See,
killer.
he considered a possible alternative suspect to OJ.
Yeah.
See, he did it. This is the killer, and he went on from California to kill other women. He killed a couple other women. He killed her next door neighbor, and then she slept with him after the next door neighbor was already dead, and she didn't know it.
Oh my God.
And then so she gets him out of the house, according to the movie that I seen, and then he comes back.
But at what point, if you're a serial killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's killed all these people. He's life in prison, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Why not just say you fucking killed her?
He did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. He admits it. It's admitted. His brother says that he did it. He says that he did it. Okay. And he slept with her, and he goes back. He missed her because she set off the alarm or something, according to the movie. And then he goes back, and he's the one who kills Ron Goldman and Nicole. But see,
I thought maybe it was not Ron Goldman. I thought maybe it was the guy that OJ was. Who was the gardener?
The blonde,
the white
guy.
the white blonde hair guy.
Oh, you talking about the That one who lived.
Kato Kalin.
Kato Kalin.
That's why I thought. I thought if it wasn't OJ, it was him.
No, see, the long blonde hair.
Yeah.
And the maid said she saw OJ talking to somebody with blonde hair standing next to the limousine.
So maybe he told him.
So I'm thinking that
OJ told
this
him
is
to
the
kill
guy, and I pay you here's your money, and then he goes back over there, and maybe OJ didn't say you to do it, but because he's a serial killer, he did it.
Like here's the money, you know what to do.
No, because he painted her house. See, he did some construction work on Nicole's condo, and so I believe OJ paid him for the construction work. And
maybe a little bit more than that too. Maybe a little bit of tip at the end.
I don't know. That part I don't know. But he sure said Charlie got it. OJ says Charlie did it.
Rob, go to Google.com. Yep. Don't do it through Brave. Do it in Brave, but Google, and type in Glenn Edwards admits to killing Nicole. And Ivan, you're bringing these things up that we can clearly see, right? The Dre with the shot. The Marksmen, perfect shot. I mean, perfect shots on both cars. You never hear of it. Now, I haven't heard of it.
No, you're expert. To do that, you're expert.
But I'm saying, all this stuff, nobody's heard of. Nobody's seen. I mean, you have, but the general public has not seen any of it.
No, they haven't looked at it. We've never had a really detailed look into the investigation. We just have a lot of speculation.
Read that, Rob. Rob's pretty good.
Did serial killer Glenn Rogers help kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman in 1994? That's the conclusion of My Brother the Serial Killer, a 2-hour documentary premiering Wednesday. I'm absolutely certain my brother killed Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman, says Glenn's brother Clay Rogers. Made headlines nationwide when he was captured in 95, driving Cribb's car around after a murder. Blah, 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 blah.
Killed 70 people.
Glenn told me, guess I'm partying. Oh, Glenn told me when he called, guess who I'm partying with, Nicole Simpson. Actually, what he told me was they've got money, they're well off, and I'm taking her down. So, yeah, I didn't know about that.
Wow.
Yeah. See, so
I've been bringing in some
good stuff.
I've been bringing the heat. He's bringing the heat, and we're fact checking it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, not being a dick, we're just. I want to know.
Yeah, you got to check.
It's not that I don't believe it. I just want to know.
Because see, I didn't know either, and I'm in the actual O.J. Simpson story. I'm in the movie. The
really?
one that showed on television. Yeah, at the end.
Congratulations.
They have people come in, and they have me come in, and they ask me, why do you think OJ got off? Yada, yada, yada. And at that time, I thought he was guilty. I said he got off because so many blacks been hung before for doing nothing. Everybody just glad to see him get off.
But if they don't fit, you must have quit.
But then later on, I was at home one night, and I saw the movie. The Nicole movie, and I'm like, oh shit, this is who killed her. And so I Googled everything just like you did, and so.
But then you say, well, do they say that to make money off the movie?
Nah, because even the police say that his car was there, his truck was there, and he had contact with her. So you have to blame him first. That's why there was Mark Furman framed OJ. That really was a frame up. The blood drops, the way you found the blood on the sock, they framed him, and that's why he got off. If it wasn't for Mark Furman taking the fifth and doing all of that, he probably wouldn't have got off.
I got one question. Why is it always serial killers are crazy white dudes? Honest to God. Every serial killer is a crazy white
They're not.
man.
The only one I can remember is the black guy on the bridge with his kid.
They're not. There's some black guys.
I never see it. That's always a crazy white dude.
Yeah,
Jesus.
There was a guy in one city who would kidnap prostitutes in his house. Then we had
remember the bridge one.
the grim sleeper. Remember Detective Dupree?
Yeah.
He was the lead detective on the Grim Sleeper Task Force. We had him. He was the African American. And then we got Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. We don't know how many they killed.
Remember the guy on the bridge? He was actually bringing his son with him, this sick guy.
Oh, you talking about the
Golden Gate Killer, that one?
No, I think he's talking about I think you're talking about.
I don't know his name. He was an African American, and he was bringing his son with him, and they were just going up on any bridge and just.
The other thing that always amazes me is like, how is a serial killer? I know they're not all there or whatever, but like, how do you kill that many people? Like the 70 it said, or whatever that one was. And I watched on Netflix the other day. It's called The Good Nurse. It's about a guy who was a nurse. He was in Pennsylvania, a couple of our hospitals, and he would inject insulin into the IV bags.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be killing people. They think he killed over 400 people over all the years.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fuck, do you get away with that for that long?
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know.
Well, these guys, you know, you talking about high.
Yeah.
You know, people who do that stuff is because they get a high that you won't believe. That's an adrenaline rush to them,
but how they get away with it? That many?
It's law enforcement is, you know, doesn't it's hard. Some people it's hard to detect that they're doing it. Like the I-5 killer, he was 70 years old when they caught him. So that just lets you know, not to do it. Because you might get away with it today, but then when they get you, like the Pac and Biggie case, those are death penalty cases.
Oh yeah. And how long who was the guy who was writing? I can't remember his name. He was writing the letters to the law enforcement, like Zodiac
Killer.
He lasted a long time.
And Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. See, some of these guys,
he won it. He was done. Well, whatever. He wanted to know why he kept killing. I watched that whole thing.
John Gacy.
That was good.
You got John Gacy.
That's another one, a clown. Yeah.
Yeah, and so but these guys, but what we've never had before, and what we don't ever want to experience again is wealthy serial killers.
Yeah.
So do you think then that Dr. Dre, Ice Cube are responsible for more than, in your opinion?
Oh yeah, they'd have to be, because you had all of the cover-up murders.
You got to take care of them.
So you gotta explain those. So you're looking at two men who are serial killers and are very wealthy, and the question is have they stopped?
You think they have? You think they have?
Have rappers stopped dying?
Nope.
So, I mean, you're dealing with billionaire killers. What would a rich killer spend his money on? If you got rich at putting hits on people, you think he would stop?
So, between you and Detective Dupree, who, congratulations to him for solving that.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The Grim
Sleeper. Yeah.
The Grim Sleeper. Congratulations, Doc. That took work, dedication, and you got to give a ton of respect to that man for that.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, they go to Cali, Diddy and Biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Between you and Detective Dupree, what is your guys' analysis, opinion of exactly what happened?
Well, I haven't talked to the only thing I did.
Or I should say, what is yours?
Give him a name. I haven't talked to him about what their personal investigation, but
so P. Diddy decides he's going to go to California.
He's going to come to California.
Yeah, take me from there as to what your research has told you.
Opportunity. If they knew he was coming, I don't know, but it's opportunity. And when he got here, they swung into motion and they were ready. According to City of Lies, we have the spotter, we have the Muslim, and we have Rafael Perez. And now the Muslim, they found him. They found Rafael Perez. He's allegedly a limo driver somewhere. The Muslim is back east somewhere. So they found them. So when they got here, obviously they had some type of plan so that when they knew he was coming. And when he got here, I think that voice in the movie, there's a voice that comes in, phone call to Biggie, says, your fat ass ain't leaving L.A. I think that was Dre. You know, I think that was that. You know,
which movie was that in?
The City of Lies.
City of Lies.
Yeah, well, the Biggie movie. No, Notorious. Yeah, when he says before they kill him, he gets a phone call, and the voice says, "Your fat ass ain't leaving L.A." So it's just jealousy, man.
So you think P. Diddy set him up, sent him to California?
Nah,
it was already set up
to
have him killed.
Nah, not P. Diddy. I'm
sorry, I didn't mean to say P. Diddy. They go to California, they get word. They already have it set up, ready to go because they know he's going to be there. Diddy forgot a piece of paper in the club, so he couldn't be in the same car with Biggie as he usually is for some reason. So he goes back in, gets his piece of paper. Biggie wants to go get laid, so he leaves. I mean, you can hear that on the thing. Yeah. He wanted to chase some girl down, and Diddy had to go get his piece of paper.
Yeah, so I don't know who, what. All I know is
who's behind it.
Is that, the people behind this thing, the financiers and the major benefactors of this thing is Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. You get them out of the way. And Dr. Dre became the greatest fraud in the music industry that you've ever seen. Milli Vanilli ain't got nothing on it. You remember Milli Vanilli?
We might reach out. We might reach out and get him in. I'd like to talk to him. Why not? Right?
Yeah, Milli Vanilli.
Nobody's seen them in a minute.
Yeah.
He went and hid in a cave.
Yeah, but it came out that they was fake.
Yeah.
But Dr. Dre was allowed to be a fake.
I think P. Diddy's the biggest faker in the world.
Nah, when it was the genius of Jay-Z that wrote Still Dre.
Love Jay-Z.
It was the genius of Scott Stark and Mailman.
Scott Stark was a beast.
They made the beat. Dre, he just somebody who got on the microphone and recited.
I don't think there's anybody better than Scott Storch. Even though he had his little issue, but man, when he's on, he's on. DJ Quick too. Yeah.
DJ Quick. I met Quick. Out at my friend's ranch house in Rancho Cucamonga. In Temecula, at his ranch house in Temecula. And DJ Quick is the All Eyes on Me producer. So DJ Quick is probably one of the best producers out of the West. I think that, he's there. You have to give him his props. I have to give Quick his props. I met Quick. We had a chance to meet. So, Quick is a great dude. He's a great beat maker out of the West. It was Quick, Battle Cat, and those guys, Mailman. Those guys are really responsible for shaping the sound. Daz,
Daz, yeah.
Those guys are, they're tremendous. They don't even need They didn't even need the violence that to be great. They would have been great anyway. It's really the violence is messing up their legacies. The violence is just tainting, because legacy is how the history books gonna see you. And I think the greatest legacy in the history of the music business is probably James Brown.
Yeah, I don't know if you can argue with that.
Yeah.
At least one of them up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure.
He starts with nothing and comes out with the funk. He inspires a whole generation of musicians. Then he gives us Bootsy, teaches Bootsy how to be on the one. And then Bootsy goes on, and then Bootsy gives us, we want Eazy. Everybody get up. We want Eazy. So you see how the legacy goes?
Yeah.
You see it goes from James Brown all the way to Eazy E. It's a great legacy. and his drummer is one of the most sampled drummers in the history of hip hop. So it's a great legacy of what you leave behind for others, and so he's one of the greatest legacies in the history of the music industry.
Rob, can you pull up? I think it's tab 6 or 7. It's copyright, and you can explain the copyright. You had to send it to me. It's the whole form,
the patent,
the patent. Yeah, yeah. So take us through this.
Okay, this is when you want to make money on something, you don't want to get robbed.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood will rob you.
Oh, we know that.
Hollywood will rob you and leave you homeless and hungry.
I could sit here with you for 3 hours just on people that have come in that Netflix, Amazon, you name it, as, hey, we're going to give you $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't realize that mansion that they rented for that hour, that was $1 million.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you owe them money.
Yeah. That's what Tupac stayed broke all the time. But so
you sell them more albums than anyone ever as a rapper on All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
And you don't have any
money.
And nothing in your name.
Nothing in your name. With that car you got,
that's Suge's.
Yeah. We got to pay for that, But so to keep Hollywood from ripping me off,
blow this up a little bit, Rob.
And so that nobody, because they got a reward out now. I don't know what they put a reward out on this case for, but they reward. So if nobody can say that they're responsible for giving Dr. Dre, making Dr. Dre and Ice Cube the suspects, I'm responsible for that. This is my invention with law enforcement. I created the hip-hop homicides of Tupac Amaru Shakur, R. Tupac, and Christopher George Latour Wallace, a.k.a. Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, or simply Biggie, solved by Ivan Law. The suspects are Andre Young, a.k.a. Dr. Dre, and O'Shea Jackson, a.k.a. Ice Cube. So I have a patent on it. So if anybody start making money on my invention,
you ain't losing this time.
No, I ain't losing this time. I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna get paid. I got the patent, so nobody can say that they solved this case.
And then when it says document, that those are those 5 pages, and then the 3 there, 2 there, those are all patented.
Yeah, those are the cover sheets, the information that I sent in. But I actually joined the OS TPO site so that I can upgrade it. But a patent is, you can always upgrade your patent. This is a provisional patent pending, so that nobody can take credit for solving the case. They can't take credit. If they're going to take credit for it, then they're going to have to give better suspects than Andre and Ice Cube, and I don't think you can get better suspects than Dr. Dre and Ice Cube.
No. Go to tab 11. It's 2 over, right there. Oh, where? So go to over. I thought there was another one. Okay, now this is here. Now you're in the process of turning this into a film, right?
Yes.
Okay, so take us through where you're at, what the status of it is.
I've got the treatment written. I had a very nice writer. She who wrote the screenplay for me. I've submitted it to a couple of major networks. I won't say their names, because they have to decide.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So I don't want to just put them on blast.
No, because say one is going to do it, and then you say another, it could hurt you.
Yeah.
So
I it's out at a couple of major networks to see what they want to do. So I'm waiting to see what they want to do with the screenplay. But we do have the movie out there. The screenplay out there, waiting for the opportunity to get it out there to the public and to let everybody know that the case is officially solved. It's official. It's not a speculation. It's, I'm not speculating. I'm not just hating on them guys now, because I love them, but I need mines.
Well, congratulations for even getting on IMDb.
Yeah.
Not anybody can just pop up on there. You know what I mean? And congratulations on getting this shopped. I mean, That's something
Big.
to say on.
That's big.
Yeah, I kept researching, I kept studying and Googling and searching and trying to get the story out there, make sure I own the story, and it didn't slip away. So every place I found that I could put it, I put it. If they didn't let me put it here, okay, I can't put it here, okay, but I put it here. So I have quite a few certified news sites like Medium News. They let me put it there. I have Reddit News. I have a page there.
Yeah, I saw it on their R.
Yeah.
And if people don't know what the R is, that means you got enough. That means you're in population, basically, right? You're not in a holding cell anymore.
No, you're out there.
You're out there, yeah.
So the story is getting out there now, and then, I'm here with you. I'm here. This is huge. This is.
Oh, thanks. Thank you for coming in. This is really interesting. I mean, we never looked at it like this.
Nah, it's interesting. Now, if and when breaking news comes across and Ice Cube and Dr. Dre are arrested for the murders of Biggie or Tupac, sorry. What's going through your, like, what are you saying? What happens? What do you do?
Well, I
come up with lyrics to a new song. What do you got?
Well, I
go on vacation.
Yeah.
I don't know. With the current state of hip hop, man, I'm just turned off by the music industry, period. It's just a turn off, all of homicides. But if they announce that they arrest Dr. Dre and Ice Cube for the murders of Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace, then I guess I'll start making new videos and we'll start talking about where they're going to be tried at, whether they're going to get the death penalty or not. And,
I guess we'll be having another conversation.
Yeah, we'll go into a deeper conversation because I've already started one on my YouTube channel because I done told so many people that it's solved. I'm not even going to tell you it's solved no more. Where are they going to be arrested at? And I'm thinking when they get arrested, it's going to be in Los Angeles first.
So you do think before they pass away, they will be arrested? In our lifetime, they'll be arrested, indicted, put in jail?
Yeah, Detective 2, they already put me in for the reward. They said as they get closer, they'll let me know. So they're pursuing them. It's been 25 years, 26 years exactly. And the guys are extremely rich. So you just don't go.
No, you got to have an air seal tight case.
See, you could take me and throw me in jail. And
say,
we're
all done for.
Yeah, know. Oh, okay, get it. And I'm innocent, but you throw me in there. Like when the guy tried to kill me.
Ivan, all we need is the person next door to go say one of us did it. We're done.
Well, look,
we're doing life.
I'll tell you what. They had me in custody, and I was fighting the case. Everybody was in there was laughing. Because I was in custody fighting the case because the detective said I shot the man because he couldn't rap. And I'm sitting in custody. I'm in custody for 2 years fighting the case because the detective said I shot the man because he couldn't rap.
I don't see you, even in your heyday, I don't see you shooting somebody over them not being able to rap. Maybe kicking them out, maybe telling them to go home and, get a bike or get a new job.
Well, they never mentioned that at my trial.
I'm sure they didn't.
They never mentioned it. But I sat in, but because I don't have any money.
Yeah.
I had to sit in jail for 2 years and prove it.
I know.
And then the jury came back not guilty. So what they would do to me, they can't do that.
No,
to
because
Dr.
you
Dre
got to
and
think.
Q.
You probably got $1 billion with Dre, and then you probably got $100 million maybe with
160.
Cube. 160 with Cube?
Yeah, 160 million with Cube.
So you're talking, you're going to indict two guys worth $1.3 billion?
Yeah.
You better have that case
solid.
Even if he has it solid, it needs to be more solid.
Yeah, because they're
coming with
attorneys,
like attorneys
that
are 10 million an hour.
You won't even have enough room
You ain't
on
lying.
at the defense table.
Yeah. Johnny Cochran will come out of retirement.
Out of retirement, they're gonna dig him up out of the grave.
That's right. Yep.
Grave, yeah.
Fuck. Well, he'll be there for this one.
They're gonna dig him up. Johnny's,
Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Like everybody be like, where Johnny come from?
Like,
I'm here.
Elon, remember that chip you got? We need to get Johnny up. You hit him with that Neuralink.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, shoot. I heard y'all got a big one going on, but their defense team would look like a football squad.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be
Of all, and each one of those people on the football team are all 10 million apiece per hour.
per hour, and they're gonna do their job. So, and they're richer than the prosecution.
They're richer than the state.
Yes. Yes.
So that's a problem.
The state going, what are you? Get some more. Get more evidence. Get
Yeah.
more.
Dupree, I know you got a lot, but these guys could buy the state.
Yeah, because they don't want, I'm pretty sure they don't want to lose. They want to get them. And they don't want a Robert Blake situation.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Being that Dupree had gotten that guy, I keep messing up his name.
Grim Sleeper.
That guy was no joke to get.
No.
So that takes dedication. That takes patience. So if I'm Dre and I'm Ice Cube, I got my billions, but that is not a guy I want after me.
No, you don't want Detective Dupree
No,
after.
if you got the Grim Reaper, hell no.
No.
Grim Reaper's a lot harder than this.
Well, that's what Drake had. Dre had the aneurysm. It blew his mind when his wife left him right after the detective went to his house. She packed her bags and said, "I'm out." You did what? You what? I'm out of here. So she left because she knows he's a killer. And she stayed there all the way up until Detective Dupree went to his house to talk to him. After Detective Dupree interviewed him, she left. And it's sad that they did this to their lives. It doesn't matter how much money you have. R. Kelly had $27,000 in his commissary. They took it. They took it.
They rocked him.
Yeah, they took his soup money.
How much time did he get? He got
He's
a
long time. I think.
He's done.
He's done for.
Forever.
He's done.
He did.
He's done. So you throw your life away. You're trying to be slick, trying to be hard. Trying to be a gangster. And gangsters don't have nothing to do with killing people. You know what gangster is? Gangster is about making money.
Yeah.
Gangsters went to Vegas and made money.
They weren't killing people.
No, they didn't go to Vegas to kill
They were building
people.
casinos so that idiots can go into the casino that is fancy, the best rooms on the planet, and for some reason, people think you're going to go in there and beat them.
You're not. You're going to lose. They're about making money.
Right. And they're owned by, who?
Gangsters.
Gangsters. And nobody's getting killed. You got the dummies walking in who are addicted to gambling. For some reason, they think that they're going to win when the place is like absolutely beautiful. How do you think it's beautiful?
Yeah. And in order for a gangster to kill you, you have to be really doing something.
Break loyalty.
You have to be a threat. You have to be you have to steal something, owe them some money,
or disrespectful.
But just you can sing better than me. I'm gonna blow your brains. Come on, man. That's not gangster, man.
Last two questions for you.
Okay.
One, and then whatever Rob might have. One, this is off this, but just out of your opinion, because I've always wondered this. Why do you think Cash Money, Baby, whatever, why do you think he held Wayne's record for all that time?
I don't know.
I just wonder if you had an opinion on it.
No, I don't know. I don't get into what everybody's doing. I'm a fan of the guys. Master P. All the guys. They got great movies. They had wonderful careers. I'm a fan of all these guys. But I'm a West Coast guy. I'm a original rapper from the West. I should be there. But I'm not there because Cube and Dre. So that's my focus, is just making sure, hey, I'm not really, I just want my credit for what I did. I don't want to go through life telling, I used to tell women, hey, Dr. Dre, stole my music.
And one day you want to be like, hey, you remember you laughed at me?
Yeah. Now I want everybody to know that I'm the beat maker.
You got a little bit of a bucket list so that you can hit them all up and say, hey, remember when you laughed at me?
Yeah.
I got your number from 86, 87, 89, 91.
Yeah, remember when you thought I was crazy? Everybody thought I was crazy. Dr. Dre imitation you. Yeah, right. So, but I just, at 60, I'm 60 now.
You don't look 60 at all.
Thank you.
Damn, you've got those genetics. How old would you say he looks?
I was going to say like 49, 50.
Yeah, I'd say late 40s.
That's no drugs, no alcohol. I don't drink.
That alcohol, age the hell out of you.
Yeah, alcohol will do it. I don't drink, and I don't use drugs.
Good for you.
And so that's
especially coming up the environment that you were in.
Yeah.
Phew, you escaped a bullet, buddy.
Oh, I barely made it. There's many of my friends fell by the wayside. Most of my friends, like I told you, I'm a 7th grade dropout. So most of my friends are in prison for life. They're not getting out. The guys that I ran with as a kid, they're not coming home, or either they're dead. I don't have many friends from childhood that's out on the streets. The ones that I ran with, they gone. They gone. I ran with the tough ones. My Double G, they call him Double G. Double G invented home invasion robberies. That was my childhood friend.
Well, I guess you could put that in the portfolio. I mean, you should have got a patent on that one.
No, so that's what he invented it. But really, Double G invented home invasion robberies. That was my. Those are the guys that I cut my teeth with in junior high and high school and all of that stuff. So, but those guys, he's not coming home now. They gave him 300 and something years. Yeah.
Wow.
They caught him out there in Beverly Hills scouting the place, and they locked him up, and 300 and something years. He'll never see daylight ever again. And so I'm just fortunate that I survived. And I say to these youngsters, stay clean. Stay clean. Because it's easy to pick up a gun and kill somebody, guys. But getting away with it for the rest of your life is not easy. And once they get you, they got you. And if you do, and you could get the death penalty. So it's not worth it. A lot of these guys have led these youngsters astray. They got them thinking that it's okay to kill.
Well, you listen to the gangster rap, you're young, you don't have anything, you're in the hood.
Yeah.
Who do you look up to?
Yeah.
You're going to look up to, Will's, before he did his asshole shit, Will Smith, whoever, you're in the ghetto. Yeah. You're not going to look up to Will Smith or Chris Rock. You're going to look up to somebody you can relate to. Yeah. And when they're talking about killing everybody, if you're looking up to Kobe Bryant, you're going to go shoot basketball. Right. If you're looking up to a killer, you're probably going to end up going and killing somebody, right?
Yeah, because it's the influence.
But you're a great example. And anybody watching this that dropped out of school or might be having a tough time, look at you. You dropped out of 7th grade. You talk proper. You're respectful. You come in dressed like a man, you can have a conversation. You can have a debate. And this is somebody who went through hell. We're in the worst situation possible. Went through the peak of the crack epidemic, and look at you. You made it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just recently, when I was doing my time, I was over in the Alvarado area. I went homeless over there. And hard time. I started with 2 radios, went to 3, 4, and now that area, they have a little small swap meet on the train platform over there because everybody followed me over there. They saw me coming out of homelessness, and they was like, hey, a light bulb came on. I can do it too. And so that's what it's all about, influence other people to be great.
And you never gave up.
No.
You never gave up.
No, I can't give up. as long as there's life, there's hope. I'm very cautious. I think everybody should be concerned about Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. I wouldn't send them my demo. I wouldn't ask them to help me in the music industry. I wouldn't ask anybody who killed somebody to help me. I wouldn't look for help at all. But we have to, encourage these young people to be careful. And I'm concerned. I stay concerned, because they tried once. I have an order to prevent workplace violence against a sitting judge.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's prophecy, though. You got that? It was prophecy. It was prophecy. Yes, because I was able to, because I was connected to the Tupac and Biggie case, and I was able to put the sheriffs and those two together, and then the Holy Ghost worked, and because it takes a miracle to get an order on a judge.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I got an order.
Isn't that the truth?
I got an order on him, so he got all up in my business, and
I'm sure he did.
So he's friends with Dre, and I sued the city for the false imprisonment because I was in there.
2 years.
Shot somebody because you couldn't rap, so I sued the city for that. And he being friends with Dre and the radio station and all of that, and he handled the case when he should have recused. And so he didn't know that I study. And so I got to research, and hey, you know these. Hey, you dirty.
You misread Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't dumb.
Nah, as a preacher, it's my job to study.
Congratulations on everything, man.
Thank you, man.
Who's the GOAT quarterback? Even if you don't like football, who do you think's the best quarterback ever?
The best quarterback ever? Shoot.
He's gonna go with you. He's from the West.
I think so.
Shut up, Rob.
I'd have to say, who's that for the Patriots? Brady?
My man. Finally, thank you.
I have to say Brady.
Yeah, he's for me.
I think Brady, he done.
You changed your mind yet, Rob?
No.
Who's the best?
No, Joe Montana.
Well, you know what?
No, Ivan, you were just with me. No, you can't.
Well, he's going old school. I just saw Joe Montana on. He's got a commercial. So when you go old school, I guess you would say Joe Montana.
Oh.
If you go new school, though, you got to go with Tom Brady.
No, we're saying overall.
Oh, Tom Brady. Because I think who has the most championship? Who has the most Super Bowl rings? Tom Brady.
Yeah, still playing and I mean, he's going to hit a little bit this year, but
yeah. And he came out of retirement and
won with the new team
and bought his buddy out of retirement.
Yeah,
hey,
and then he got divorced.
Yeah,
he's still playing.
Yeah, the first year that they won, the New England Patriots was 9-1-1.
Yeah,
that was the first year they won. That was huge. I thought it was rigged.
So did I.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was rigged. I said, how convenient.
The Yankees were in the World Series that year, and they lost, though. They lost to the Diamondbacks, but yeah.
Yeah, and then the Patriots come up and they win in 9-1-1. I said, how convenient is this? We need a patriotic thing, and they come up the Patriots. So I thought it was all staged. But then they went on to win and win and win and win. So they proved that it wasn't staged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull up Ivan's stuff, and we'll go through everything so everybody can see it, and we'll have it all in the description for you.
Okay. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you bringing me out to tell this story.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll start with his Twitter. If you want to go to Ivan's Twitter, Ivan, you want to tell everybody?
Yeah, this is Ivan the Great Law, Monster Beats. I'm there. You guys can get at me there. If you got a little music you want me to help me with, I got my own record label. I'll do whatever I can to help you. But that's my Twitter. You can follow me there.
Yeah, hit follow on that, Rob. Okay.
And then this is the blog that started it all. This investigation into Dr. Dre started with a question. Is Dr. Dre the luckiest man alive or a killer? That question was answered by law enforcement, and they believe that he is a killer. And This is the book. You can pre-order the book, and so that you'll get the final cut. The final cut will be on here as soon as I get it done.
And the audio is available now on Amazon. Just type in the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
you can type in the same thing. Go to Amazon and you can read it now. Just the basic. I just got something there so I can have a copyright on this stuff. This is too huge for me to protect myself that I solved this case.
I'll have Amazon in the description too, in case people want to read a sample about what's to come out.
Okay.
And then this here is being shopped.
Yeah, this is the movie. I'm shopping it. Hollyhood, Tupac and Biggie homicide solved. To me, Hollywood is a hood. It's not Hollywood anymore. It's Hollyhood now. And so you better be careful trying to do anything in anybody's hood.
And then a ton of killer clips on here.
Yeah,
especially that one right there. Anybody watching this, watch that one with Suge confessing murdering Eazy E.
Yeah, this is my YouTube channel where I put together my own investigation into everything. That's my home studio right there.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's my recording studio in my bedroom. And so I kind of just do my little thing there, whatever I could do to let everybody know that I'm real and I'm here, and that I'm a part of I'm supposed to be a part of the hip hop scene. It doesn't make sense for these guys to try to pretend like they're the only ones.
And then, Rob, if you go to Hollywood Visual up there, we'll have a link in the description for everybody, so that if they want to read through it, they can read through it.
That right there?
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't actually have that.
I turned it into a link.
Oh, okay, great.
I got you.
Okay, cool. You got me.
And then that way you can, read through everything that Ivan's done. And I'll tell you what, Ivan's blowing my mind.
That was pretty good.
I never looked at it the way Ivan looked at it or researched it. Very interesting.
The pictures of the bullet holes.
The bullet holes got me. Very interesting.
Yeah, you'd have to be an expert marksman to hit somebody through that car door. Anybody can hit somebody, but to go through that car door and know what you're aiming at and where the location. So those were expert marksmen. But when I first started investigating the case, it said that law enforcement killed Tupac and Biggie. And so my question was, okay, if they did it, why?
I do remember hearing that early on, because remember first it was about how corrupt they were.
Yeah.
It was corrupt.
Right.
Then it was they were involved in it. Then real quick it went to Orlando Anderson.
Right. That's while I was in custody.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I told Lieutenant Thompson. They said, we don't investigate this case no more. I said, why not? Because you got an Ice Cube script. It's a script. So, that came up after I wrote Is Dr. Dre the Luckiest Man Alive or a Killer? Then it became needful to close the case. But when nobody suspected them, it didn't matter. But when they knew that at least one person knows, we need to close this case. Because if you don't close it, then you can be held accountable for it. So they was trying to close it. When I got out of custody, there was everybody in the news media was, let's close this case. Let's close this case. But the Holy Ghost, God said, no, you're not closing this case without the right suspects. And to be honest with you, we don't want people who kill people to get away with murder. We need accountability.
I think we can all agree with that, right?
Yeah, we need accountability. We don't want a lawless society. When doing all of the things like George Floyd, it was very disturbing to me because every thing that I saw, even George Floyd, was non-compliance. It was all non-compliance. George Floyd didn't comply with the police. The one guy who was killed he was sleeping in his car and they woke him up. He didn't comply. He started fighting the police, took their taser. And so I saw, and everybody hollering Black Lives Matter, but nobody said comply with the police. And you have to comply with the police. Comply, go to jail, and come home.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. You know, that's what I did. They had me in there for shooting a man because he couldn't rap. I was.
Well, that is pretty funny.
But and Scooby, he's from 60 Hood over there where Nipsey was from, and Nipsey used to send Scooby all kind of packages. And Scooby said because they really thought I did that. So they had everybody together one day inside of the cell, and they had a rap contest. And everybody just rapping away. And they just rapping. And then after it's all over, the one of the deputies come on the mic and say, "Who won?" They listening. They thought really I was gonna flip out. And Scooby said, "You didn't shoot him. You gave him a pass."
That is pretty funny.
So everybody was clowning me because I'm sitting in custody for shooting somebody. And you know what they said? They said, "Hey man, he worse than Suge Knight."
Jeez. They killed you, boy.
Yeah, they said I was worse than Suge Knight, and one of the guys was rapping. You know, he was a rapper because I'm in. I said, "Yeah, man, I produced, man. Let me hear you rap." He said, "No, you might shoot me."
You got anything, Rob?
Yeah, I would just say when you come back again, if it comes back on again, we'll just chill till the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
to the next episode. Yeah.
Oh,
I had to throw something in there.
That's
next
good.
episode.
Hey.
All right,
No,
man.
awesome
Thank you
stuff.
for your time. Really good stuff.
Yeah,
really
awesome.
good stuff. I'd
Thank
love to have you back again.
Yeah, and
Really had a good time.
And I want to say, if you hear this, Snoop, man, I love you, man. I met you. Steve gave us a chance to meet. Steve Harvey, I love you. I'm glad your nose is clean. Keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of you, and I'm not a hater. I admire your work from a distance, my brother. God bless you, and God keep you.
Thank you, Ivan.